Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between, yeah, it's all that. And we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Morning. It is I. It is he. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsay. I can't offer you guys a 25% off discount on the show, but I'm glad you're here with us on this Saturday. Of course, I am here with my co-host, Righteous Reg. What's going on?
It's your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. This show might not be that great, but check tomorrow's show, which is going to be hot. If you are into double combo shows, we are doing bits here to start the show. Phil, I don't know how to sell a show anymore. I don't know what wrestling is. I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know nothing.
I don't know. A lot of things has happened in the last 2 weeks that I did not think would be this easy to do. Well, sorry, would be this hard to do.
Right.
But listen, I guess, we got to get into some of the SmackDown stuff because for 2 weeks in a row, SmackDown has been pretty abysmal to watch. I did not make it through SmackDown last week. I cut it off. And this week again, I cut it off. I was like, yeah, this is not a show for me. I'm here for wrestling. I'm not here for the rest of this stuff. And we'll get into that in a few. It's been quite an interesting 2 weeks with this road to WrestleMania.
It was in San Jose too, Phil. So some people were asking if I was going to go. And I was like, after it started to roll out, I was like, imagine if I was at this show. I would have been screaming in the air, just like the old man that I am. Because what is going on here? But yeah, we're on the road. It's been hilarious. And I'm excited about Las Vegas. This is what happens when you go back to the same place. Like, this story all this could have been different if they were in New Orleans or something. It would have just flowed different. But knowing that it's going back to Vegas is hilarious. But yeah, other than that, Phil, it's been a busy week. I was thinking about things to talk about on the show, and I was like, damn, we could hit that. We could hit that. We could hit that. Like, my life has been people defending indie wrestling. It's been a lot of indie wrestling this week. Chicago has been in the indie wrestling news, so it's just been kind of a lot of that, honestly.
Yeah, if you have not seen, Berwin Eagles Club will no longer be hosting wrestling shows after the end of this month. I believe the upcoming AEW show will be the last show to take place there. If you know, you know. If you live here in Chicago, if you're around the Midwest at all, Berwin Eagles Club has been a fixture in this city. It's not really Chicago, but that's a different conversation. It's been a fixture here in the city for not just the indie wrestling scene here, but just like women's wrestling and Shimmer, Rise, and all of these small women's promotions that that was their home location. And then there's other places like AAW, GCW, like tons of indie promotions have run through Berwin Eagles Club. Like I said, a staple in this city for its wrestling scene, a staple in indie wrestling in general. So this is kind of a huge deal. I don't know exactly what this means. I still don't really understand the story around why it's shutting down. Apparently there was a fake stabbing incident. I read up on it and I still don't understand exactly what happened. I don't know what happened here.
So last week, a video came out of a bunch of wrestlers fighting with fans, and including Cruel and some other guys. I don't know what promotion this is. I don't know what was happening. So there's a video, and they're like, oh, Cruel got stabbed. And so the story starts going around that Cruel got stabbed at the show. So that's why they were beating these guys up. So everybody maybe that was 2 weeks ago. So yeah, there's this video of everybody fighting, and then so Berwin Eagles Club is immediately like, we're out of the wrestling game. We don't want no parts of whatever happened. So people were like, well, that's kind of what really went on here. So it came out that one side faked the story in order to justify them beating the fans up. And so that some things went on behind the scenes. So again, Berwin Eagles is just like, we're out of this, dude. Like, we don't want no parts of this. Forget what you're talking about. So I don't know if somebody got stabbed or not, Phil, but that determined what happened with this long-standing independent wrestling venue, and the world has been talking on both sides. People are mad at Ricky Shane Page for something he plays a part. Maybe it's his promotion or something. Cruel. They're like laughing it off on one side. It's just nasty independent wrestling stuff, and the venue being affected by it, and other wrestling companies that had shows booked at the venue being affected by it is the real cause here. So I hope they could find somewhere in that area, because wrestling is super hot there. Like Phil was saying, like women's wrestling, what we know now, the foundation was built in that area. So we want to continue to have spaces like that. And also not surprised that some messy independent wrestling stuff is going on, Phil.
Yeah, none of that really makes sense to me, but
still like, what?
It's wrestling stuff. But yeah, this affects a lot of people. The owner of Berwin Eagles Club, I'm sure that was a big part of their income.
Absolutely.
Was booking wrestling shows. So I don't know how they're going to recoup that income that they were making off of wrestling. And then I don't know what this means for a lot of promotions that were counting on Berwin Eagles Club to be able to book their shows year round. I mean, already I think GCW canceled their show.
Yep.
I think there was another show coming up that was canceled, but yeah, officially AEW is the last show that will run there. Yeah, if it's just a misunderstanding, I don't really understand. Yeah, there's so much here that I just don't really get, but
it seems like there might be some litigations or something going on back there. So everybody's just trying to cover their butts, because like having videos and presenting it this way, I'm sure the guys that got beat up aren't, it's just, I don't know anything, honestly, you guys. And I hope that it's all figured out. But also, speaking of independent wrestling, Phil, this week, controversy. We're headed to Las Vegas. A lot of wrestling going on. WrestleCon, the Super Show, had announced a tremendous main event that I was looking forward to. Was going to feature the homie Ricochet taking on the tremendous talent of Leon Slater. And then there was also a match announced of Dolph Ziggler. Nick Nemeth was going to take on the AEW World Champion MJF in Create a Pro, Wrestle Pro, one of those companies. But they this week, Phil, it was found out that those matches are canceled due to some politics. And funny enough, we did a podcast earlier this week, and you said they're probably going to cancel this match, and I was like, why would they do that? Like, at the moment, I was like, but they've announced it. We've already did a lot. There's no way that they could cancel this match. And they canceled this match. So the Prophet Philip Lindsay, I don't know how you figured it out, but we are now here, and people were not happy. Let me tell you, I've never seen a collective get together of wrestlers that are signed, independent of all shapes and sizes, being like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I came on here and I, got my wind horse on. I was like, why is this match happening? Why are they allowing this? And I was like, what does this mean? Does this mean Leon Slater is not WWE bound as we thought? Because if he is, they have no reason to allow this match to happen. Because we've seen how this partnership goes. When they need him for Saturday Night Main Event, or they need him to go on the European tour, or they need him to pull up for Raw, it's perfectly fine for him to get pulled from a TNA show. Yep. But allowing him to go somewhere else and wrestle an AEW wrestler like Ricochet? No, not so much. And so I was like, wonder why they would let this happen. There were two ways I looked at it. I was like, hey, maybe Leon Slater is not as WWE bound as we thought, or maybe this just slipped through the cracks. Seems like it was the latter. Just slipped through the cracks. And then the more and more people talked about it, they were like, wait, he's booked for where? To wrestle who?
Mm-hmm.
No. We might have to make a call. We might have to.
And as Ricochet be talking shit too, Phil. Like he's not just like a regular dude.
Somebody was in one of them offices eating a banana. Like, might have to drop a dime. Drop a dime on somebody because what's this? I don't who okayed this? Who approved this? So yeah, that match is not happening. That was set for the big memorial show for this upcoming WrestleCon weekend. And then the other match, Nick Nemeth versus Maxwell Jacob Freeman. I believe it was for a Creative Pro show in New York. Nick Nemeth has been pulled from that as well. They have been doing quite a bit of promoting for that match online on Busted Open Radio as well. Yeah. Max has been taunting Nick Nemeth everywhere. He put out that big tweet about him. Then he went on Busted Open, talked about him some. And yeah, it seemed like this was something that both Max and Nick were motivated for. And now it's just not happening.
Nope.
Yeah, and that got us into yet another one of these independent contractor conversations and how, hey, if this person is an independent contractor, he is not an employee of TNA or any other company. Why can't he just work where he wants to work? I don't really understand it, especially when you got something like Max, who is the champion of AEW. If AEW is just letting him work this indie show, what's the issue? Why you can't do the same thing? I'm sure there's some politics behind this. Our guy can't lose, blah, 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 blah. But doesn't seem like this is totally on the TNA front because TNA before was allowing wrestlers to work during WrestleCon weekend. It was an issue before. Wonder what changed. Inquiring minds want to know what changed here. But I also, if you guys remember, I pointed out to you guys, hey, why are so many TNA wrestlers leaving from over there? And not just any TNA wrestlers, the good TNA wrestlers. Like,
yes.
Look, man, why Alexander not over there no more? Jake something not over there no more. The Rascals, Ace Austin, Danny Luna, just recently. Why are all of these people leaving TNA if they're just revamping? They've got like a new regime in there. They're trying to like really push this as like a new era of TNA with this partnership with WWE. What's happening? Why are these people leaving? Yeah, a lot of interesting questions to come out of this, and I don't think this helps. If people are getting paid enough to make a good living over there, this probably wouldn't matter. But
yep,
if you're not getting paid well, and you're also losing bookings at other places, what's the incentive for me working here?
And you guys don't have a booking for me to counter with? You're like, actually do this, we got this show?
Yeah. And I mean, listen, I saw Gail Kim say it, but the right thing to do if you're going to ask people to pull their bookings from WrestleCon weekend, because we know what this is, it's not just WrestleMania weekend and WWE is going to make their money. A lot of these small indie promotions and indie wrestlers make their money off of this weekend as well. So if you're taking that money off the table for me, I hope you're going to reimburse me.
Yep. Absolutely.
And if you're not, then why am I working here? What's the incentive?
What is this?
And
Manson, Steph DeLander too. I thought they had a pretty loud exit from TNA. It's like, what's going on over there that's causing all these people to be like, we're out of here, dude?
Yeah, and Stephanie, made the point about them, not paying her medical bills, and like there were some conversations way back before that with Chris Bay and his medical situation, and why did he need to go on GoFundMe? Why wasn't the company covering his medical bills for an injury that happened on their show? Yeah, there are a lot of things about this that don't make TNA look great. Max cut that promo on Busted Open where he trashed TNA. He also went into some stuff that would be enough to make you feel like, oh, well, he's working, because he also talked about Kenny, and you know, he threw some shots around. He didn't just linger on TNA, but again, kind of feels like there's some questions we should be asking about this TNA situation and its partnership if so many people are leaving, because it would be one thing if we were just hearing things and people were still happy over there. It definitely seems like something is happening that people are not happy.
Yeah, that I think that's the thing, is that they're leaving and they're loud about it and they're not happy about it. Like, there's so many people that are just like expressing these frustrations. And so with this, sorry, you guys. So with this certain situation here, I saw a lot of promoters being like, this is not the way to do business. This is not the way that we want to move forward. Because what does this do for people who are thinking about booking those talent now, Phil? Can I book you and advertise a match in a month without thinking that you're going to be pulled before I do it? Now that's second guessing these promoters, second guessing getting more bookings for these wrestlers that totally need them. Nobody's just taking them just because they want to have fun. I mean, some people are taking them because they want to have fun.
Yeah,
but most people want to get paid out here, dude. It's a time.
This is work.
It's work. It's WrestleCon weekend. There's all these other eyes that haven't seen you before, that want to see you, that maybe can't get out to a TNA show and happen to be here and get to catch this great young talent, Leon Slater, against one of, this guy inspired him. You know that he got into the business watching this guy's tapes in Ricochet, and that's just canceled because of politics. And then we started hearing about a couple of other ones, Phil, too. There was apparently a GCW match that was scheduled in March with Bear Bronson, who is a TNA contracted wrestler, was going to take on MJF, the AEW World Champion, in a match, and they apparently got that canceled too. So there's levels to this, because then there was also a Jody Threat and Mercedes match in Winnipeg Pro, but Jody Threat went over. So there was like, they heard about the politics. So it's like there's all these different levels and all these things that are coming into play, but it's affecting the independent wrestlers. It's affecting the promotions. It's kind of affecting the flow of what's going on. Because if like, did WWE play a role in this, Phil? Like, how deep is this thing? Was it just because everybody's like, Carlos Silva, this is your fault, G, but like, how much of this is his fault?
Yeah, like I said, there wasn't an issue with TNA wrestlers being booked for indie shows during WrestleMania weekend years prior. Yeah, the big thing that changed was this partnership with WWE. So you got to assume that has something to do with it, especially with the ties to AEW. And specifically, these are matches being canceled with wrestlers from AEW. So there's enough to make you think like, yeah, this does have something to do with their partnership with WWE. Yeah, not a good sign. I don't think that this is all on Carlos Silva. There's definitely some stuff happening behind closed doors that we don't know. We can speculate about what it could and couldn't be, but yeah, it looks away. It absolutely looks away. And like I said, my main concern here is for the wrestlers. If this is a source of income for you outside of your main contract with TNA, what's the incentive for me to have this contract if I also can't just work other promotions? And we're in a completely different landscape in wrestling than we've been in for the past, 3 or 4 years, where you've got WWE that has partnerships with TNA. They have partnerships with Noah. And you have wrestlers with the ability to work other places now. What's the issue? Especially during such a big WrestleMania weekend. And I think the thing that's just so jarring to me is, like I said, when we talked about it Monday, I was like, hey, this match is still happening for now. Wonder why. And we're a week out. We're a week out on a memorial show, and
Absolutely.
you pulled this.
Mhm.
This is a week out. Like, you don't. How do we as a promotion? How do we pivot from that in a week? Like, I mean, I'm sure you can
The
book
main
somebody.
event too, Phil. Like they were advertising it as the main event. Like people are coming to this show. Saw a bunch of people being like, "I was going to that show for that match," and like, what do you do to justify that? To rectify that? How do you help the promotion that was advertising your guy move forward?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. And like I said, if this is it would be one thing if it didn't look away with Leon doing things for WWE all the time. But just how this looks, it doesn't look great. And I mean, this could end up in the same situation you were in with someone like Joe Hendry, where they just end up leaving. And what do you get out of that?
What is your
I know.
promotion?
Eh,
Is it that? I think that's another question that we can have. Like, what is TNA? Because I'm like, if you're a WWE feeder system, just say it out loud so we can move forward how we want to move forward. Because like playing this half-ass, we are independent. We sign guys like Ricky Sosa. We're signing Leon Slater and guys that kind of are exciting online, are exciting across the pond in places we can't see. It seems like they sometimes have their finger on the pulse of what is new and hot, but then they move like this, and it's like, if you're just acting as another place for them, that's fine, but we need to establish that, and you need to let these wrestlers know off rip what the game's going to be like. If you come over here, you can work Noah, you can work AAA, you can work the places that are subsidiaries of WWE, but you can't be out here getting any independent booking you want because you might be in the same locker room with somebody from over there.
you might make somebody from another wrestling company look good. Can't have you losing to that guy.
Can't do
Can't
that.
have that. Because again, that's just wrestling politics. But yeah, I don't know, man. This is pretty troubling to me. Because like, if this ends up working out for Leon, because I mean, this started with me having a glimmer of hope. Like, wait, there's still a chance he might not be over there. Oh, this shuts that door for good to me.
Shut that
I,
down.
I definitely see Leon over there in a year, maybe 2 years from now. He will definitely be a WWE wrestler, like
Absolutely.
that. Because otherwise, I don't see what's the issue here. Like I just don't get it. Yeah, look, Michael Allen. The idea that somebody was sitting somewhere with our podcast up, and they were just like listening, just like humming and stuff, like, and then heard that part. They were like, "Wait, who? He's wrestling where? He's wrestling who? Hold on. Let me make a call. What do you mean? He's wrestling who and where? Ricochet? Wait, no.
Yeah, no,
Shut that
absolutely
down.
not. Cancel that
Shut that
match.
down.
Cancel whatever match that is.
Yeah, just sitting laughing at everything else. Like, yeah, that is funny. I like that J. Cole album too. Wait, who's wrestling where?
It does feel like that's what happened though, because like we talked about it, and then they were like, "Shut all this down. What's going on? And why are we having these matches?" It happens so fast, and I'm just like, you never know these days how these things move. But yeah, I mean, as somebody you guys know, independent wrestling is life over here. It just sets kind of a crazy precedent, and this is not to get anybody else off the hook. I've been a part of shows where AEW wrestlers are on, and they've been pulled within days to go to Collision or do something. It happens, but like in a completely different way. Most of the time they're pulled because they want them to come do the show. Like 100% of the time, that's the reason that they're pulled, because they want them to come do a show. TNA just pulled them because they didn't want them to do that show. And that's a different
Yeah,
beat.
because this is WrestleMania weekend. This is WrestleCon weekend. You've got wrestlers from all over the industry working shows in Las Vegas this upcoming weekend. Yeah, that aspect of it, it's just very strange. And to see so many wrestlers and to see so many promoters speaking out and being like, nah,
Mm.
this isn't good for wrestlers. This isn't good for people that need these kind of weekends to make money. Not a good sign. Not a good sign at all.
Pat Buck put out a statement because he's the owner of Create a Pro, and he was just being like, "Who does this help? Like, what are you doing here? We advertised this match. Everybody was in. Everybody was excited. Like, this was gonna be a big hit for us, and now we just don't get that." And you guys, I posted it on Twitter. I'm sure you've seen. If you haven't heard this Max promo on Busted Open, where he just obliterates Carlos Silva and he promotes AEW and he does all that, definitely go check it out. But like I said in that tweet, Phil, he can do this in 4 minutes, and why he need 25 on TV? Because he could Max could sell a match in 4 minutes, brother. He don't need 25.
Guy was shooting, buddy. Got on there shooting. It was a lot of shooting this week. He's one of them.
He's one of them. Is hella funny. Is this what our business is going to become, you guys? Are we a shoot business now? Is that where we're moving towards? But yeah, check that out. I don't know what this is. This could be the beginning of something bad. This could also be like TNA being like, oh man, we fucked up. Let's fix this. Let's move forward differently. I don't think that's going to be the case. Or this could be a non-issue because like the wrestlers that are going to continue to be on independent wrestling are just going to stop going over there. I don't know what this is going to lead to, but there's a lot of roads that'll be taking off of this.
Oh, it's going to be less of an issue for Leon soon because, like I said, he about to have a WWE contract. If I had to guess, that's my prediction coming out of this. Like, oh, Leon over there? No. That's a guy we had some feelers out there about. Leon over there? Oh, no. No. Mm-hmm. What are you doing over there? Who all gonna be there?
What are you doing over there? Ricochet too. He been talking shit. But yeah, I mean, like I'm saying, if you guys are on some WWE ID, he's on retainer. Just say that.
Hey man, I hope it works out for Leon, man. I think that this is a wasted opportunity for him. This was a big dream matchup for him. And this was a big match for that show. Yeah. If this doesn't end up harming him in the long run, which I don't think that it will, great. I just don't like the precedent here at all. If he's getting his paper and he's getting reimbursed or he's making enough money to justify them asking him to not take a booking, great. But if they're not a good look. Not a good look.
And also like these kids, because this is a kid, man, are still being developed, dog. Like this is still like the evolution of what Leon Slater, who he is, who he's gonna become, and we need to see him in different situations. The big thing that's going to come out of them having so many different systems of LFG and Evolve and NXT and TNA and AAW, AAA and all these development systems is they're all learning the same shit. They're all wrestling the same people. They're all doing the same stuff, and they're not expanding their minds. Facing somebody like Ricochet, facing different wrestlers and different promotions across the world is what's going to develop these guys. And if we're just sticking them in this box where everybody kind of learns the same system, who does that help? That doesn't help the wrestling business. That helps your business, your company. But we need to continue to expand these people. Also, support independent wrestling. That's a big thing that came out of it. A couple of wrestlers being like, if these were independent wrestlers, we wouldn't have these problems. If there's 2 independent wrestlers booked in this big match, we wouldn't even be talking about that. So continue to support independent wrestling because they need it, because situations like this happen every single week almost, where they book somebody and some kind of crazy fiasco happens. So out of this, please support independent wrestling. Please, next week, if you could stream any of these shows or do anything to support, please do that, because independent companies really need it.
Yeah, and I mean, what this means for independent wrestling, but also what this means for guys outside of the 2 big companies in the U.S., like it's not like Leon is not getting exposure by doing WWE shows, sure. But like, again, this is WrestleMania weekend. You're getting a chance to put him in front of some fans that might not have seen him wrestle in person, that might not have, seen anything he's done yet. And you can't discount what that would have done for him, especially this kind of match with Ricochet. This would have been pretty big for him. And like I said, you're asking him to not do the booking because of like some wrestling politics stuff that we're not privy to.
And what if you come and blow our minds in a match against Ricochet, and this is my first time seeing you? Hey, I wonder where I could see this guy some more.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like if your X Division champion goes and knocks it out the park here, and it's just like, hey, he's an X Division champion. I can watch him on AMC. I can watch him on TNA. Isn't that a good thing for you and your company? Even if you're looking at it from the point of view that he could end up over in WWE. Again, isn't that good for you during WrestleMania weekend? You're seeing this guy wrestle somebody that used to work for your company, and like this is now even more reason why you should, want to continue to give this guy exposure or offer him a contract in the future.
I'm blown away.
Yeah, I everything about it I just don't really understand from a business standpoint. But again, it just feels like it's got to be some kind of political stuff behind the scenes that we just don't know. And it might not be totally on WWE. We don't know. This might be somebody at TNA being like, this doesn't really make business sense for us. But I just don't understand why. Jose is saying in our chat, he says, I get the WWE, how easy it is to point fingers at them, but saying this couldn't have been an AMC call is foolish to me. I don't think either of us are saying that, though. We don't know why the match was pulled, but we do know what specifically changed, and one of the things that changed for TNA over the past year and some change is having a partnership with WWE. And, if it's also them getting a TV deal and AMC feeling like, okay, we don't want him wrestling over there. That doesn't really sound like a TV company move.
Nah.
That kind of feels like wrestling stuff. AMC doesn't have any interest in wrestling politics. This feels like a wrestling politics thing. And if that's the case, that's somebody at TNA or that's somebody at WWE, if I had to assume. Right. But again, I don't know anything for sure.
I couldn't assume that can assume that it wasn't the TV company. I was at AMC being like
that don't make sense for them.
It was the AMC guy listening to Grapsody film being like, oh yeah, I do fucks with that. that J. Cole and what? What wrestlers doing what? Shut this all down. No, I can't really think that.
Yeah, I can't see that having anything to do with AMC or their rights agreement over there. Like I said, this feels like wrestling politics to me. And if that's the case, yeah, I don't understand it from a business standpoint. And hey, look,
we also heard that bit about apparently Carlos Silva was mad that Collision got rescheduled to a Thursday to compete with Impact or something, and maybe that plays a role too. So again, wrestling politics.
Yeah, that's why I was like, this just reeks of politics to me. I don't know. Again, until somebody at one of these companies gives us the specific reason why that match was pulled, all of this is just speculation.
Right.
But again, when you look at common denominators here and specific things changing for TNA, yeah, there's a big elephant in the room. I don't think it's like wild to assume that this may have had something to do with their relationship with WWE, even if WWE didn't step in and say don't take this booking. Yeah, I have to assume it has something to do with their relationship with WWE or TNA's fractured relationship with AEW.
Because there is that, even if WWE didn't say anything, of TNA being like, we don't want to look crazy to them. We don't want them to even find out about this match and think we were on some crazy shit. Like, let's cancel this. Like, there's so many different things that could go into why this was canceled and what happened. But yeah, we're just going off what we know, the things that kind of are, because this isn't like a TV big issue. This is happening across the board in independent wrestling and has been for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean,
if you kind of connect those dots with the politics, it kind of adds up.
I mean, the specific reason why I was sitting here saying, "Oh, they're letting that match happen," is because I was legitimately surprised when I saw that match on the show. I was like, "Oh, what's happening here? What's this about? They letting Leon do that?" Okay, so that's why I'm not surprised at all that the match was pulled, guys. I should put that right out there.
You
because,
said
again,
it.
I was really surprised that this match was announced, and so once they pulled it, I was like, "Oh, yeah. Somebody saw the graphic. They must." Yeah, no. Somebody saw the graphic and was like, "Oh yeah, what? No. Close that. Close that down. Shut that down."
Oh man, wrestling is so funny, dude. But none of this is surprising. Like, this is the oldest. It's an old thing. I guess we just got used to it not happening. We've got used to TNA wrestlers or some people at a certain level doing this and working other places that we used to it. But historically, a TNA wrestler versus an AEW wrestler, a WWE wrestler versus a WCW wrestler, or ECW wrestler. There's always backstage politics. There's always stuff that's kind of goes into that. You know, this isn't a new thing.
Absolutely not. But yeah, again, hopefully this works out for the wrestlers involved. I don't think this is the last we'll see of something like this, a wrestler being pulled from a show because of partnerships, because of course it's wrestling. And yeah, I think we should keep monitoring like wrestlers leaving TNA, because I think it's going to continue to happen. TNA has unfortunately been in this position where some people see it as a stepping stone, but this partnership with WWE has changed a lot of things. I mean, when you look at, like I said, the last few years and someone like Jordan going to NXT, and it's just like, yeah, I see what that looks like. I see what I think that means. And then she ends up over there. The same thing with Joe Hendry and
Mike Santana.
Yeah. I just don't. Yes. Yeah. So. Yeah. This was my concern for TNA when they announced the TV deal with AMC, because they already had an issue of, signing and keeping main event level talent there. That's been an issue for a minute with TNA, getting people to come there and wanting to stay there long term and not seeing it as a stepping stone. And now, it's tricky now that you're in a partnership with WWE, and like a lot of people, let's just keep it 100. They want to go over there. A lot of wrestlers want to be over there. You're going to be paid better. You're going to be in a bigger platform. That changed a lot of things, and I just don't know. I don't know how that's going to continue to affect things moving forward.
It's funny because like it feels a little bit, maybe ironic's maybe not the word to use, because like you would think, okay, I want to get to WWE. Let me just go to TNA to get there. But then in some situation, it doesn't work like that, because like they're looking at you a certain way. You got to like click in, because there's wrestlers in TNA right now that I think aren't on WWE's radar at the same, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not guaranteed if you go over there that you're going to be that. So it's like, it's a gamble now, even more than it was previously, to even go over there. And like, why would you put yourself in a position as a company for that, Phil?
Yeah, but that's why I said the game has changed, man. It used to be, hey, let me go to TNA and raise my profile, raise my stock, do some indie bookings, raise my stock, and then maybe they'll notice. Now you already know they're looking because there's a partnership. All of these pipelines have changed. Like, it's not like it was before, even with indie promotions. With the introduction of WWID, these pipelines have changed, and that's why I'm like, I still don't know long term how that benefits TNA and some of these indie promotions, and we'll see. I mean, how it can benefit the wrestlers, hopefully that ends up in a place where the wrestlers can make a better living, sure, but how does that affect the smaller promotions under it? I still don't have the answer to that question.
It's bleak. A lot of the promoters are like, this might be it. Because how do you compete with WWE? WWE is in the independent wrestling game now, Phil. Like, They are partnered with promotions. If we've seen it 1,000 times, if a wrestler has a hot week next week, Phil, they're gone. Like it's not like they're gonna be like, oh, now they're gonna get all these independent wrestling bookings. No, they have a hot week and they're calling immediately. Somebody's gonna be there with the contract from one of these companies. So everything just moves so differently, and it's starting to be sad because I'm seeing established wrestlers that would probably wrestle for 10 more years or something like that, Phil, being like, I'm retiring. I'm out of this. I don't like where this has landed. Cause like it's starting to be like, what if you don't want to work in these two American promotions? And it's like, there's so many promotions, there's so many independent wrestling promotions that are connected to them that you can't even go and just have a good time because it's all business up top and it's all these type of things. It's starting to become kind of weird. It's an interesting place to move in, and these wrestlers have different incentives and people are putting different timelines on their careers now. So I'm just like, I don't know, as somebody that's in it, Phil, and sees it at the lowest level, it's like I don't know what the next 10 years looks like.
Yeah. And, I don't want to turn this into, oh, this one evil promotion is destroying indie wrestling.
No.
Because I think the success of AEW has had adverse effects on indie wrestling as well.
Absolutely.
When you see a company like AEW that started from its beginning and had an immediate foothold in the indie wrestling community, and that's led to so many indie wrestlers from places ending up at AEW, I absolutely think that's had an impact on indie wrestling and an impact in the way WWE wants to do things. I don't think it's a coincidence that WWID happened and some of these things are happening to speed up the pipeline of wrestlers coming from the indie wrestling scene and going to WWE, because now they had another option. You weren't just the only option for them if they wanted to wrestle in the U.S. Mm-hmm. And I guess this whole arms race between both companies of, who's going to sign this wrestler, who's going to sign that wrestler, has absolutely had an effect on indie wrestling as well.
Yeah, no, this is not just a WWE. If you guys listened to my rant a little bit ago and like, oh, this guy's talking about WWE. No, AEW plays just as big as role in the way that independent wrestling moves now too. We've been having a big discussion, I guess yesterday, a couple of days, about PWG. A lot of people have been like, bring PWG back. The Young Bucks have talked about bringing PWG back. All these people are like, we're gonna do this. There is no PWG is on, you guys. We're watching a PWG pay-per-view tomorrow called Dynasty. It comes on every week. How do you have PWG when it's on TV, dude? Like, the reason that we can't have companies like that, the reason that independent wrestling moves different, huge part of that is because AEW, independent wrestling, is on TV. It's not the same. So like the same role that WWE's played, AEW's played the same thing, because wrestlers are moving with that mind state now of, if I cook for 2 weeks, I can be over there and I don't have to change who I am at all. I could be this guy that I am. I could be this person that I am, no matter where I am. So it's they've been affected in a million different ways, not just WWE.
Right, you've seen how it affects New Japan as well. Look at the exit from New Japan, and look at how they've had to completely rebuild their roster, rebuild their main event scene, because their top guy just picked up and left because there was another option for them. Like that wasn't a thing that was available 6 years ago, and that's why it's like all of this. The landscape of wrestling has just changed so much since AEW. And just a lot of things that WWE has changed as well. They've changed their signing habits. They've changed their pipeline to their company, and that's had an effect. And I mean, them having to change the way that they approach signing wrestlers has a lot to do with AEW. Mm-hmm. It just does. And again, that's not a trying to go, oh, this is the big bad guy here, or pick a side. That's just the fact of the matter. A lot of things have changed. There wasn't a company like AEW that could offer the amount of money that they offered before.
Absolutely.
And like I said, that has had a big impact on the decisions that wrestlers are making. I was just the other day talking to somebody about NWA Power and how much I enjoyed watching NWA Power at one point, but how much things changed when people started getting signed up from over there. They lost Ricky Starks, they lost Eddie Kingston, they lost Thunder Rosa, and those were some of the most interesting characters on the show. They went to AEW. And it's the same thing you're saying with PWG. Hey man, it'd be nice to run some PWG shows throughout the year. Well, what is PWG's identity anymore when you have so many wrestlers that wrestled over there wrestling that style on TV? And you know, fans can buy tickets to go to Dynamite or Collision or a Ring of Honor show or an AEW pay-per-view. What is your market now? How do you entice people to buy tickets to a PWG show when it's already available in the market?
Mm-hmm. I see PWG again. We're about to have a preview of a PWG show that's happening tomorrow. The Young Bucks are on it. Kenny Omega's on it. Will Ospreay's on it. All guys that I saw in Reseda.
Yeah, I mean, and on a smaller level, it's the same thing that is affecting Ring of Honor currently as well. Like, what is your identity now when so much of what AEW does is like dependent on what Ring of Honor was? And even before that, NXT, the same thing. What NXT was so similar to Ring of Honor. So how does Ring of Honor fit anymore?
Exactly. It all fills the same roles. It's like, what's my identity when my identity is now on the highest level? My identity is now on the biggest stage. My identity is now what wrestling is. Like PWG, we see 5-star matches on Wednesday nights, dude. Like what like there's a couple of draws. Like, is Super Dragon gonna be there? Are these things gonna happen? Like, it's PWG, they'll sell it out, but like, what is it in this climate? And even beyond AEW, all the other independent wrestling shows are just PWG now. It used to be like you get these fly-ins from England, you get these fly-ins from Japan, you get these fly-ins from other independent wrestling companies across the country, and these shows are super shows, and they're a certain way. GCW doing that every week. When West Coast Pro puts on a show, it feels like what the spirit of PWG. It's like independent wrestling is moving like that now. So like, what is the place of a place like that? But again, at the highest level, I could see it on pay-per-view. Why do that? And I'm PWG Youngboy, you guys. Like, I would be there, but like, what?
Yeah, the appeal of these big indie supercars is it's not necessarily there anymore because, like I said, you can see that in some form somewhere else.
Yep. I even see with how GCW's booking Collective. It's not about let's book dream matches. They're running angles, dude. They're doing promos. They're telling stories. Like, you got to do this a way different way than 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago, Phil.
Yeah. And that's what's disappointing about the Nick Nemeth and MJF thing. They were in the trenches running an angle. They were actually trying to promote a match and try to tell a story. It wasn't just book a match. And just got completely pulled away.
What a crazy week, man.
But send us in your super chats. That is the best way to get your chats read on this podcast. You could also send us a Humper Chat at humperchats.com/Fightful.
Right into the Graps this week, you guys. Like, I don't even. Was there any hip hop? Did anything cool happen? Like, I don't even know what happened. What's the hip hop talk this week?
It wasn't something cool that happened. It was just a reminder for me that a lot of these conversations have been put in the hands of people that don't mean the culture well and don't mean rappers or people well. Because the conversation being had about this Gucci diss, I'm just like, bro, y'all can have it. Because this, what we're doing, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Want no parts. That's all I would like to say. I don't want... When I saw that he released a diss, I was like, oh, yeah, I don't even want I shouldn't even click on this. But I clicked on it, and I was like, I really shouldn't have clicked on this. Then I saw the way people were talking about it, Phil, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Bro. Bro, the way people... And let me preface this by saying I'm not a street guy. The way people that are not street guys keep trying to change the definition of snitching is crazy to me. Like... It happened when Cuddy went up there and spoke at during the Diddy trial, and people like, oh, he's snitching. No. He was summoned. He was subpoenaed. That's not snitching. Snitching is going in there and telling without a cause. Like, no. He was subpoenaed. No, you got to come up here. You got to show up. This whole thing with Gucci and him dropping a diss and saying what happened. How is this different than what happened with him and Jeezy? And he got on records and dissed Jeezy and said who shot him. Who tried to shoot him. This is the same thing. You're trying to turn that into snitching. No. What did you expect Gucci to do based on the history of Gucci's had in the industry? Like, we all know what happened at this point. It's news. Mm-hmm. It's national news. And he went on record and talked about it, and they're like, oh, Gucci snitching. Bro, that's not snitching. That's not snitching. We can't just change the definition of snitching on a whim. And then, like I said, the energy from certain people talk about this again. I don't think it helps hip hop. I don't think it helps people in hip hop, because we are misleading people. We are feeding agendas. It's nasty. It's nasty. I thought the same thing with a lot of conversations about Ye and this festival being canceled. And it's just like, bro, we are just in this era of spin. We're in this era of pushing agendas, and I hate it, bro. I fucking hate it. It's nasty.
Yeah, I didn't get it, Phil, because we came on the pod last time we were on the pod, and we talked about this whole Gucci and Pooh Shiesty situation, because the documents were released from whatever this case is, detailing every situation. There was videos of this detailing every situation. Everybody was getting their bits in. So Gucci came on record and recapped, and they were like, oh, he's snitching. I'm like, what do you mean, though? He didn't say no new for.
We already knew.
Right. The information was already presented to us in court documents and all these different stuff. And he just recapped, and they were like, he's doing it. Why would he do this? And I'm like, I didn't think the song. I didn't not want it because I thought he was snitching. I did not want it. I don't want it because of what is coming of this and how all these rappers are talking about come get it in blood. I'm like, no, let's maybe shut all this shit down, because I think it's gone pretty far, and us being involved in it is not going to help.
Yeah, no, there's too many people that aren't street dudes that are talking on street politics that they have no idea about, and I hate it. And it's you're making some of these things national talking points, and you're diminishing what these things mean. It's just what I keep saying about crash out and how people have changed the definition of crash out. That's not what that word meant. That's not what that word meant. And because it's turned into slang for people that are not street people, like, that's where we're at. It's just like, it's so many things like that where people are just like taking things and trivializing things that are really happening to real people. And it's not a good look, man.
Every time somebody's like, I got the wrong drink, I'm about to crash out, I'm like, this is not, this isn't
that's not
what this is.
That's not it, bro. That's not it. And I mean, the whole idea
I yelled
like
at my
song,
mom and I really crashed out on her. I'm like, that's not what this slang is, you guys.
Bro, it's too many things that people are speaking on, and I don't like it. But again, it's agendas. A lot of everything is turned into narratives. Everything is a spin. Everything's agenda. I seen some of the stuff Ack was doing, and I was just like, yeah, nope. I hate everything about this.
We're just from the era, Phil, of it's street shit. Only street people talk about street shit. That's just, and I'm going to continue to be there. I don't care wherever we move. I don't care how the streamers try to change this. Street niggas get to talk about street shit, and that's how it's going to continue to stay.
Yeah, no. This ain't no joke for a lot of people, and people turning things into jokes and trivializing things, or like turning this into like, fodder for like Stan wars and like this internet shit. It's just like, nah, Nah, we can't. Well, I can't. I'm sorry, because people are going to continue to do it. I don't want no parts of that. I can't do it, bro.
Niggas could die off of this. Niggas are getting. I don't know what Offset is doing. I'm like, you guys, this isn't
Offset
healthy
thing
stuff.
the Offset thing was came out of nowhere because of course, we first just saw the TMZ report that he got shot. Glad he's okay. It wasn't just him that got shot; it was somebody else in the situation. So glad nobody was actually killed in this situation. Yeah. It's just, again, man, like Pete, this stuff just being, talked about in the way that it is, and people being desensitized to these things. Not a fan of it.
20 years ago, 30 years ago, a rapper getting shot like this would have been like, there would have been discussions, panels. We'd have been talking about this for 5 years. Like, next week, we're going to forget about this.
Yeah. It was like within days, we had that picture of him outside in a wheelchair in his hospital gown smoking, and that was kind of it.
He's back at the casino.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the thing that immediately made it scary to me is like Takeoff got killed. He got murdered. He got shot in a similar situation with some gambling going on at a party, and I'm glad he's still with us. Yeah.
Like, I don't even have words for it. You're out. How could you? I mean, it's an addiction. It's a lot that goes into it. It's hard for us to be just like, hey, don't fucking do that, because like it's an addiction. But I'm just like, your man's dog, like, died because of this shit. Why would you even? I just don't.
And of course, I'm not trying to make a correlation. I just think like, when you immediately think of like the surface level similarities here, it's just like, that's, oh no, I'm glad he's okay. But I just want people to be careful, and it's too much of this kind of violence and stuff around hip hop. And again, it's too many people trivializing things and turning things into agendas. It's sad to watch, man. It's just really sad to watch, because there's a lot of young folks that are getting killed or not getting a chance to, grow as an artist and grow into the person that they could have been, because it's just silly stuff happening. It's just like, I don't get it.
And Gucci and them are old dudes, man. Like, y'all need to get. You can't be 50 years old still beefing out here. And as somebody who's lost some people to dice games, man. Like, I've had people that are not with us anymore because of fucking dice games. Gee, like, I don't even.
Yeah, this ain't it ain't no joke. And I just hate that there's a lot of conversations that are in hands of people that don't understand what a lot of this means, and like how this is affecting actual real people. A lot of stuff that ends up on the internet is people that just have no idea what they're talking about. And, we're just making light of shit all the time that we should not be making light of.
Like, the TMZ people are discussing this. Like, this is.
Yeah, nah. Take me out. Take me out of this. Get me out. I'm good. Let me out.
We love this genre, you guys. Like, this is our lives. And like, when it becomes bullshit like this, it's just like, just put some good music on, G. Fuck.
Yeah, I could not believe when I saw the conversation was turning into what it was with this Gucci thing, and I was like, nope. Oh, count me out.
Count me out.
Again, I did not want to be that guy when Hove was doing that interview, and he was like, yeah, maybe we don't need this as a part of hip hop anymore because of like what the internet does to things and the way people sensationalize things. I was like, no, he's right. I couldn't say it too loud, but I was like, I think he's right. And I'm sure people are going to be like, well, Phil, those two things are the same thing. I think he's right.
everybody can. It's just like wrestling. Everybody has an opinion, and everybody can say their piece. And it's like maybe we don't need all of them. And I'm even fine with people being like saying that about me. I'm like, that's okay. Like you can definitely feel like we don't need all these voices. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's too many things that are now in the hands of people that don't mean the culture or rappers or fans any well. Like they just want to sensationalize things and turn things into agendas, and yeah, nah, I'm good.
I was just like something nasty with involving hip hop happened. I was like, oh no, somebody died. We can just move forward. Yeah, we can just.
Yeah. I did see that. Given the name we're talking about and like his connection to the origins of hip hop, it's unfortunate that some people won't have the knowledge of what he did for the culture and be able to celebrate him for his contributions to the culture because, it's tied to other things. But again, we won't be getting no kind of tribute or that on this show. No, thank you.
0%. Super chats, hyper chats, other things. We love you guys for the support. We love you guys for sitting with us for an hour already before we even get to them because you guys are the coolest. Wouldn't have this show without y'all. Wouldn't be Grapsody without the support of so many homies for such a long time. So appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
The other Mikey V says the dog's presentation with the Twitter vignettes has been fire. When does the booking catch up? Those boys are killers and should be presented like it.
Yeah. The Gabe Kid vignette that they showed this week was fire. The backstage stuff they've been doing with them, great stuff. I just think that they need like a clear direction for the dogs moving forward. I mean, now that you've introduced them to a new audience, you've got to get them in a feud with somebody and give them like a straightforward direction.
I like how they kind of flipped Josh Alexander's bit for them to do it this week with them beating up the guys backstage and talking to the camera. It's like, that's a good bit. They should flip it into that. We have a division, Phil, in AEW for 3 people that we could really change the trajectory and change the energy of that if we got a team like this involved in the trios division. If we made that mean something, there'd be a place for these guys to fit right in. So maybe figure that out.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. The dogs are challenging for the trios belts tonight on Collision, right?
That's true. That's very true. It's tonight.
Yeah, got a big trios match for them tonight. Myron Reed versus Okada tonight. Looking forward to that. What a match for the guy, man. Very excited for him.
Listen, Phil, I started watching some of the Ring of Honor studio shows. They're great. I tweeted about it. You guys should definitely check it out. Reed, just seeing Reed in AEW featured in anything is just making me so happy. When they announced this match with Okada tonight, I'm like, yes, brother, this guy rocks. Also, bring AR Fox back to TV. He's incredible.
Man, get AR Fox back on our TVs, bro. Extremely talented guy, dynamic wrestler, man. He was having a little bit of a resurgence. The fans were getting behind him, and then all of a sudden, they stopped doing it. He was really the MVP of a lot of those money matches they were doing last year, and I don't know what happened there.
I think he might have been injured.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully he's back and he's doing better. Well, he has to be because he's wrestling. But yeah, to your point, Mikey V, I would just put the belts on those guys tonight. You got about as good of a match you're gonna get out of the team of Mystico and Speedball and Kevin Knight. They looked fantastic at the last pay-per-view. I don't think they need these belts long term. If you really want to position the dogs as a threat and give them a direction moving forward, I would put the trios titles on them tonight.
With how they're moving and what it'll do for them, I think it makes more sense on them. And they're starting to tell a couple of different stories with like Jet and Speedball in different divisions that I think are more interesting. So let's just do it with the dogs.
Yep.
The homie Grapple Geekery, shout out to Grapple Geekery, says, howdy, gentlemen. I'm resting up for Dynasty tomorrow. My top matches are Kenny versus MJF, the Bucks versus Takeshita and Okada, and Tekla versus Jamie Hayter.
Yeah. We're going to run through this card for Dynasty before this show is over. We're going to preview that for you guys. Yeah, we'll probably review it Monday.
Yep.
It's going to be busy week, travel week eventually for us, but yeah, we'll run through that card in a little bit.
Dynasty. Van Twinblay says, Fiuk the Fied, Leon and Nick should have let us do the matches or we walk. The Leon and Nick should have let us do the matches or we walk. Can't wait for this piece of shit company to go under. Van Twinblade's putting his stuff into one place, like we talked about. There's a lot of factors in this. We're not placing the blame on just one thing, but I see how it looks.
Definitely looks away. I don't know if that's a feasible option for either of those guys to just be like, well, no, let me do this match or I walk. I don't think that's how contracts work, but it sounds good.
I like a lot of people are making that suggestion after this of like they should all just boycott the TNA pay-per-view and not show up. And I'm like, I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, I don't think that's how these things work.
The other McAfee also says, shouts to Royce's debut, but I ain't watching SmackDown.
I thought Royce's debut was one of the best things about SmackDown last night. I thought the Danhausen stuff was funny and entertaining, but the main reason I wanted to watch SmackDown was for Royce last night. Once we got that vignette of him in his hometown, East Palo Alto, I was like, oh, we're finally getting Royce on TV. I'm pulling up, and I thought the vignette was handled well. I thought the match did what it was supposed to do. If you did not see it, Royce wrestled Berto. This guy, as we saw in AEW, you put him in there with some luchadors, just let him throw people around. It usually works, and I thought he looked fantastic. It put across like his style of wrestling, what he does well. I thought his entrance music was kind of hard. I was like, oh wait, that's his entrance theme? Okay. And still has one of the best spine busters in the business. I was here for it, man. Give this guy more stuff to do.
The vignette was awesome. You really get the vibes of who the big homie is. There was a mural of the Jacka. The Jacka being on WWE TV is just like, damn, Bay Area history. There's so much behind that. That's beautiful. You really get who this guy is just in that vignette. And then the match I thought was great. This is all the way you have to present the big homie. Have him come out, have him start yelling, have him start running dudes over, hit the big spine buster and get out of there. And then that's exactly what happened, bringing him in San Jose, who was kind of not the best crowd, Phil. I don't really, like it helped a little bit, but like it didn't help as much as I'm sure they thought it would being in San Jose, because San Jose,
Yeah, I mean, you haven't really given them much to be excited for. You really announced this stuff with Royce this week. He hasn't had anything since Royal Rumble, so they didn't know what to expect. If you're already a fan of his, yeah, but like if you're just a WWE fan, like I can see you not being that interested in this. I thought it was good as a debut. They gave him a lot. Like I said, they gave him a video package. He had a match. Right afterwards, he had a backstage interview with Kathy Kelly. Looked like they're setting up something with him and Solo Sikoa. So they gave him a lot within a span of the episode, but it just took us a while to get there. I mean, Royal Rumble's all the way in January. And so, with that big gap between this and his debut on SmackDown, yeah, I could see people not being as invested as they should have been.
And like, it's so funny, Phil, because because people are asking every week since Royal Rumble where my big homie is online on this show. Like anytime that I would talk and we'd just be like, it's before WrestleMania. Like why it's going to be hard for him to get in there. And then they debut him a week before WrestleMania on the show. So what do we know?
Yeah, I think it's kind of telling that they debuted him on SmackDown the week before WrestleMania. Do you think that makes him a favorite to win Andre?
They do like big guys his size for spots like that, and thinking like some of his competitions they already got matches, so they're probably not going to be in there. I think he has a pretty good chance here. Pretty good setup with, like you said, they gave him a lot beyond the good match showing, like the videos, like they really set it up for the fans to feel like he's somebody. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because I believe the Andre has been announced for the go home episode of SmackDown. So I have to assume Royce is going to be in it. If he's not, why? Like, what? I would hope he's in it, and I hope he wins.
Like, what's going on? Definitely put him in. So you're going to SmackDown next week?
I will not be there, sir. I'll be in Vegas. I just won't be at SmackDown.
You sure?
Nah, I won't be there.
Love it.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever done the go home episodes during the week before WrestleMania. Even when I travel I've never done them. I've done the Raw after Mania, but I've never done like the week of shows.
Thinking of going to a go home SmackDown during that week sounds insane to me, because that's always when a super hot wrestling show is going on. So like, I could never.
Yeah, and this string of episodes of SmackDown definitely doesn't make me excited to pull up for next week's episode. I don't know.
Even if they announced that Pat McAfee was going to have another massive announcement, you wouldn't pull up?
At this point, that would have the opposite effect. That would mean that I'm like, nope. Hey man,
really
y'all have fun that
now.
night. I won't. Yeah, won't be there. Y'all have fun though.
The homie Meet Norma says 17-64, but no fine for tanking. Less crank. Glad the big homie finally got on TV. But what's up with Mello? And if Bork Laser beats Oba, I will set a fire. You guys, I don't know. I feel like they can't, but like the extracurriculars around it, Phil, are leading me to believe that Brock Lesnar is going to get a victory. Specifically, though, 1 hour on ESPN that they keep advertising, because it feels like they're advertising that 1 hour as Brock Lesnar hour.
Yes, I think it's a very smart move to make that the opening match and to put that on ESPN, especially with how well this build for that match has gone. I mean,
yeah,
this has been really, one of their hottest builds, if not the hottest build of WrestleMania this year. So I think it makes a lot of sense, man. You gotta make Oba in that moment, bro. There's no excuse. You got to, and I wish I was as optimistic that it's gonna happen. I just don't see why you wouldn't. Like, what would be the reasoning as to why? But hey, maybe invest in some fire extinguishers in Washington D.C. just in case Meet Normus is living his raps. But
board a couple of places up.
Yeah, just be on standby. It's okay. Washington Wizards. This is gonna be a decent draft. Maybe they're gonna get something out of this draft. I have been kind of out of basketball conversations recently. I just talked to my dad about it, and we were both like, nah. And my dad is a big time homer. He'll watch way more Bulls games than I have, and he even admitted like I stopped watching. It's not good. I don't know what they're doing. At this point, just clean house. You fired the president and GM. Just clean house. Donovan, just go ahead, hand him his pink slip as well, and let's move on.
It's been so funny because now I've been out because Steph was out for a while. He's finally back, but like the team, the energy just is not there. We in the Bay Area are now just waiting for the Valkyries. Shout out to the Golden State Valkyries, the WNBA team. We're just waiting for them to come back at this point. Like, they got the energy, they got the vibes. I'm ready to go to the games. Like, I've already moved on past this NBA season to the women's side because they are killing it. I appreciate that, me Normus. The homie Grapple Geekery says, in non-wrestling news, I'm disappointed in Lauryn Hill after being a huge fan since I first heard the Fugees. Why is she associating with Yatler?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I saw quite a few people saying that, but yeah,
It's
I have no interest in any of this Shay stuff.
The funniest thing is that famously she like didn't fuck with this guy. Like one of my favorite top 5 Kanye West songs, if I were still doing that. Maybe my favorite Kanye West song is All Falls Down. And we know that initially Lauryn Hill was on the song and was like, take me off that song. He had to go find someone else to do the song. And then they end up doing the song at the show. Just a funny full circle moment. But there are a lot of people, Phil, as we saw, if you saw any clips from the show or if you saw any of the celebrities there are a lot of people there that don't care.
Yeah. If you know, you know. The initial sample for All Falls Down was from Lauryn Hill's Mystery of Iniquity. And it used to be back in the days of like the blogs and a lot of these songs leaking. You could find a song with the original sample on it from Lauryn Hill's Unplugged. And her vocals on there. I don't know what happened with the conversations. Apparently, Lauryn did not clear that sample. And so the version that we all know, the version that turned into a single for Kanye, has Selena Johnson on it.
And the Selena, that's an amazing song. Like, still, that guy sucks, but yeah. I still be at karaoke getting my shit off. And I know I shouldn't, you guys. I know, I hear you.
Yeah, look, man. Had an incredible run early on, from College Dropout all the way to probably Pablo. Had a great run, but I haven't listened to any Kanye albums like that after that. I haven't really been interested. Everybody kept telling me, Kids See Ghosts is the good ones, and I listened to it and I was like, y'all enjoy it though.
I was so out on the homie by that time because everybody was on the Kid See Ghost shit too, and I was like, I'm not even gonna click it. And I'm a big Kid Cudi fan, but I don't like that guy.
Yeah, I'm good. The whole thing with the concert and the festival being canceled, it happened faster than I thought, because I was like, oh, they're gonna have to make a decision. A lot of big sponsors are pulling out. Pepsi pulled out, and some other but like Pepsi is huge. Like that's a big sponsor for them, and so it's like, oh, decisions will have to be made. And then when they all together, I was like, well, that's that. I think it was a big ask to think you were going to be able to come back in the way that he did and try to do a big rollout for an album and tour like this less than a year after you made a Hitler song. Even if you're apologizing and you're trying to get people to see that you're legitimately sorry and that you have like real legitimate struggles with healthcare. I mean, not healthcare, but mental health. That's a quick turnaround. Less than a year. That was a tough ask.
He I think he moves like because some people are pretty forgiving, and then like if you're on social media, like if he's on social media, he's seeing a lot of people being like, we accept your apologies, we accept this, and move on pretty quickly. But there's a lot of prominent figures that aren't gonna move on as quickly, and whatever your apologies, they're not enough, dog. Like, hey, I'm sorry for the pain I caused. Like, I still don't feel like he addressed us, Phil. Like, as someone who are on the front lines as fans, like I would have said this was all is, like I've said many times. I don't feel like he's apologized to me. I don't feel like he's rectified the thing he said about our people. I don't feel like me as a fan has been justified in going back to being a fan again.
I think the worst thing he did was doing his apology and then immediately going into the rollout of the show the rollout for this album, and the shows like the SoFi show, the festival and everything. It really, it confirmed for a lot of people that you're just apologizing because you're back to sell us something again. And he's done that a few times where he's apologized and went back to trying to sell us things. And even again, if the apology is legitimate, maybe you should have timed that better because it didn't look good. It made it look like, yeah, you're apologizing, but also
Buy my album.
I'm trying buy my album, buy some tickets, and no. Yeah, Shane Monster is saying in our chat that Kim K and Fam ruined Ye almost immediately. I strongly disagree. I think this is who this dude has always been. And I think that him getting married to Kim is a part of this guy's need for attention. And this guy has always shown you, like when you see things that come out and like him, you know, like that thing at one point where, you know, paparazzis were revealing that he was calling paparazzis, but then being mad at paparazzis for showing up. It's like, well, you called them and told you where you wanted, where you were at. And you got with like a family that's on reality TV that is constantly fodder for paparazzis. No, this is where you want it to be. And to put this even more in perspective, I don't know if you've seen the Lamar Odom doc that's on Netflix. It's pretty good.
I haven't seen it yet, but I want to watch it.
Lamar is another guy where people were like, they ruined this guy. And directly in this documentary, Lamar is like, no, I wanted to be connected to them because I saw how much money they were bringing in. I saw the connects that they had. I saw like, and when he talked about how he always wanted to be on reality TV and he pushed for that reality TV show, not Chloe. Again, that tells you, and a lot of his issues with drugs, he had those issues before he met Chloe. Like none of that stuff was on him. And to be completely honest with you, I came away with a completely different respect for Chloe after watching that documentary. She essentially saved that guy's life, man. She saved his life. If you watch it, bro, I don't think he would be still here without him. And just the amount of the stuff that she covered up for him. And like, I mean, even the fact that she was ready to divorce him. Like the whole story around their divorce is wild, bro. Like essentially they staged the intervention for him. And the people that were putting the intervention together were like, well, you should go in there and tell him, if you don't get help, I'm going to divorce you. It's not, it just as a threat. And she was just like, you really think this is going to get him to like turn around? Because she didn't want to divorce him. And so she went in there, they had the intervention. She said that, you know, if you don't change, I'm going to divorce you. And he was like, okay, let's sign the papers. Yeah. And right after that, that's when he had the incident in Vegas where, you know, he had the coma. And even though all of that happened, he just was like, okay, I'm divorcing you. She still was at the hospital, still took care of this guy, still like did everything to help rehabilitate this guy and all of this. I was like, nah. The way she got painted out of that is just completely unfair to her.
Damn, shout out to Chloe.
Yeah, definitely made me rethink a lot of my thoughts about that whole situation. But again, there could have been lies told. I don't know. But again, based on what I know about Lamar going into the doc, based on what we know about Kanye before he got in that relationship as well, no, I think this guy always had issues. I definitely think he has real issues with mental illness.
Yeah.
And among other issues, and I don't think that was totally on Kim. It seemed like Kim at several points was trying to get this guy to get help.
Same thing.
Yeah.
He didn't want it.
Yeah. And not to say that I'm like this big fan of the Kardashians or, you know, Kim and their position in pop culture, but I think the way people keep trying to act like, oh, you know, these women make all of these guys crazy. No, I don't think that that's what's happening here.
I think Kanye was trying to get to that point. And like when you hear the guys that were with him back then, the way that they talk about him, it's like, no, I think he kind of always was that guy. And he was just so talented and he set such hard beats that everybody didn't care. It's what I keep getting from it. They're all like, well, he was on this, but then he'd play beats and we'd forget about it all. And that's because did you hear? I was reading about because Brandy, these quotes keep coming out about Brandy's book and some wild shit in there. But she was
I saw the stuff about Wanya and like how she felt like she was used in that situation. Yeah,
but she also told a story about Kanye, and when they worked together, essentially her record label forced Kanye onto her album, forced that to be her lead single, having him on there. And so she said she was like, I was fine with it because like the beats were hot and it was great. And she said they were having an issue with one of the mixes on the song. And so she said she went in to talk to him, and she was like, hey, can you switch this mix? And he was just like, I'm not switching shit. Like, it's coming out like this. Like, this is how it is. Like, you have to. She's like, this is my career. This is all this. And he's just like, so what? And it's like, just turned around and start making a beat again. And I'm like, this guy was always moving like this, but he had such heat that nobody cared. And I think like now people started caring, and now like it's moving. He's moving like how he's moving.
Yikes. That's a jam too. Can we talk about our love? That's a jam.
Jammer, dude. A jammer. I'm telling you.
Yeah. That's what makes the Kanye thing so complex. It's not like the anti-Semitism is just a part of it. You know, like you said, there's things that he said about black people. There's like the MAGA stuff. There's so many things, and then you see what he's being sued for like people like coming at him for sexual harassment. The way that some people talked about the environment working for him. No,
I keep forgetting he did that stream with the black KKK garb on. Like I always forget about that.
Yeah,
I see that visual, and I'm like, oh my god, you guys.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so many things to it that look. That's why I was like, if it was just one thing, it's too much. You got a lot to atone for at this point. It's not just, let me go sit down with a rabbi or let me go talk to these people, and to your point, a lot of times when these things happen and black people are the ones that are grieved, we're the last ones to hear an apology, and I don't really care for that either. Just the way he talked about Chicago, the way he talked about Obama, there's so many angles to this. The way he talked about Hove's kids and like, no, it's too many things at this point, man.
And they're just like some good jams, and I'm like, they're good jams, you guys. I hear you, but he got a lot of ground to cover to really rectify what he did. He didn't do enough. Like you said, he went to talk to a rabbi. He didn't go and talk to the young black men in Chicago. He didn't, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many people that are offended, that are still offended, that we didn't get no fucking apology.
Yeah, and we've heard other stories about him being difficult to work with. That's not new. Yeah, Brandy getting some of them quotes off from this book, man. Shout out there.
I'm like, damn, Brandy was kind of like, niggas is wild, and like the boys, the Wanye stuff is like, wait a second, where Wanye at? We might have to.
Yeah. Oof.
The homie Coffee Black says Moose online doing damage control was funny. I mean, some people are gonna go hard for their company because they're in different positions. Like Moose doesn't have to. Moose got his match canceled too, but him getting a match canceled doesn't. It's different, Phil. You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah. He seen his match got canceled, and he was like, "Nah, we got the power, we got the stage." Nah, I'm all right. What you mean? I'm cool over here.
Oh, me? But I'm not even surprised about him going online and being like, oh, it's all good. Because, yes, of course, dog, I hear you.
Where are you going to go? There's super chats. We got super chats. What's...
They might take him in Real American Freestyle or whatever. Is he an amateur?
Nah, he's a pro at this point. What do you mean?
Hey, Shanika, our friend Shanika's here. Thanks for joining us. Happy Saturday, she says. Been a minute watching during my layover in Vegas on my way back home from a work trip. That sounds fun. Have 4 hours to kill, so I especially appreciate y'all today. hype for Dynasty tomorrow. Shout out to Shanik. I hope that your traveling is going well. We are also super excited about Dynasty and hope that your trip is good.
Yeah, you're leaving Vegas. A lot of people are making their plans to head to Vegas in the next few days.
On our way, baby.
Yo. Wait. All right, Mikey V.
What's happening over here?
Mikey V said, that's like the first super chat about Moose in Grapsody history, man. Historic.
Why y'all trying to get us out of here? Because I can't think of one other ever.
Hey, man. Yeah.
Tenruza, shout out to Tenruza says, thank F for AEW, also F the Fed, and F Joke Mania. I thought you were talking about the Tony Hinchcliffe thing. Is that still happening? Isn't that what it's called?
Nah, the Kill Tony thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not called Joke Mania?
No. Nah. Whatever. Kill Tony, kill WrestleMania, or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know.
What kind of crowd is that? I kind of wanted to just go and stand outside to see who's going in there. Coffee Black also.
Gonna make a horrible joke. Let me keep that one to myself.
We already banned today. Might as well. Coffee Black says it's double gross because of the uncertainty around Mania weekend next year for the Indies. Great point, Coffee Black. I hadn't even thought about the up in the airness that we have at this point of we might not even have the collective or these indie shows next year. Like, who knows what the landscape is next year, leading to 2 years, leading to 3 years. And so we don't have a lot of these left, and they're fucking with the last ones. That's crazy.
Yeah, very curious to see what WrestleMania weekend in the U.S. looks like next year, because a lot of people will not be traveling for WrestleMania. You're not going to have a big weekend for all these indie promotions to work around, and yeah, curious to see what happens if there's still a collective weekend in the U.S. It's the big question mark going into 2027.
I'm nervous about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think the move should be for AEW to book a big stadium show that weekend. If AEW is not planning to do that, I think that's a big missed opportunity for them.
Huge. In New Orleans, possibly, because people keep talking about that or something of that nature.
Somewhere.
And what you talked about before of it's going to be a Saudi show too. So earlier in the day, they got the prime time slot. Like, it all works out if they do it.
Yeah, because, you wouldn't be going head to head with WrestleMania in a time slot because it's going to be an afternoon. You could host a show that night on Saturday or Sunday. And like I said, other indie promotions can book around it. I absolutely think they should do something during that weekend.
Do it, because I'll be there.
Yeah.
Meet Norma Salsa says, I'm so thankful for TK and independent wrestling. I currently have 0 fucks to give about Mania. Very excited for Dynasty and the NBA Draft Lotto Partners.
Yeah, I keep forgetting the draft lottery is coming up. Man, everything's coming up so quick. Playing tournament starts Tuesday, I believe. Playoffs, NBA playoffs start very soon.
Yeah, man, it's moving hella quickly. I just every time I turn around, there's something crazy happening. Appreciate that, Meet Normus. Minimal says, happy Dynasty weekend, Grap fam. Make sure to take a nap tomorrow and hydrate well. TK is going to be in his bag tomorrow night. Long AEW time. You know what time it is. Excited about it. The homie Aaron Busby, DeBuzz, says, I'm glad I saved my money not going to that SmackDown last night, but they still managed to piss me off. even when I was on my couch. Now that's a skill. Now this Pat McAfee stuff has been so funny, Phil, because before the show, there was like a article or rumor or something that came out there like, they're revamping this. They heard you guys. They heard the fans. They're trying to flip this Pat McAfee stuff so where fans are not pissed off. And then all I saw and heard, Phil, were fans pissed off saying this is – I legit saw multiple people saying this is the worst SmackDown in history. This is the worst segment I've ever seen. I can't believe this happened in the build-up to WrestleMania. And I'm like, how?
Yeah, we started the week with that CM Punk promo on Monday, which, mixed reviews for it, mixed reactions for it. Before I say anything, I've continued to say this since he went back over there. It doesn't matter what he does. It doesn't matter what he says. At the end of the day, you went back to WWE, and some people are never going to be able to get past that. It just doesn't matter. And some of the things he's done since he went back over there, he's been eating crow since he went back over there. So, some things just aren't going to ring the same. I will say for me, as a fan of Punk, this was the most CM Punk has felt like CM Punk since he went back to WWE. This is the most like chaotic and unpredictable he's been since he went back over there. And if you remember, when we got the Royal Rumble win and the Monday after Rumble and Roman had the stuff with Punk, I was saying this does not work if you just do safe promos. Mm-hmm. You've got to let Punk be Punk. You've got to let him be unpredictable. You've got to let him go off the cuff because otherwise this is not going to be a good build. And it took them over a month, but it feels like we're finally here. He came out there and cut blistering promo. Man, there were multiple times throughout this promo where I was just like, this is what he does better than most people in the industry. He's just extremely good at connecting with people. No matter what you want to say about him, I'm sure people are going to get into, oh, well, this was Cap and he's a hypocrite, but he just connects with people. That's why the pipe bomb worked. That's why so many other things in his career have worked the way that they did, because the way he delivers promos, the way he can get people to believe, it's like second to none. When he came out there and he sat in the middle of the ring and then he got up and walked around to the commentary desk, and by the end of the promo, he was in the crowd and the crowd was like into it. Like I said, that's what he does. That's his gift in wrestling, bro. It made me think of that We Are Chicago promo, and I think for me, that's probably his best promo since he came back to wrestling, and how him having the stuff in the ring with Ace Steel, and he ends up in the Chicago crowd, and I'm like out of my seat, like ready to rip my shirt off, because that's what he does, bro. He gets people in. The longer the promo it goes on, he will bring the crowd and everybody home, and he did that on Monday night. I've been waiting this entire time since Roman was like, I hate you. I always have. And I was just like, okay, great. We're here. Get to it now, Punk. Like, let the cuffs off. Tell everybody what you really think of this guy. Stop coming out here playing the mind games. Get into it. And boy, he got into it. I've been waiting, buddy. Oh, I've been waiting. He was like, man, you went on to Fallon and you talked about how, you went over there because you're the biggest star. And no, you went over there because they want you over there. You're safe. You're saccharine. You're boring. And I was like, thank you. Because I've been saying it. I've been saying it. As big of a star this guy is, but you trying to push this, I'm the biggest star in the company. That's why I'm at Fallon. That's why the champions aren't there. No, they want you there, dog. They want you there because you're safe. You're not going to do anything. And, bro, got into this guy. Hey, man, you wouldn't even be here. You're a big Nepo hire with your big fluorescent veneers, and you come here with your padded stats and all this other, and we're supposed to be, bro. When he got into his, one was the other was Illmatic, I was like, bro, I've been waiting. You can tell everybody you got 10 WrestleMania main events. A lot of them joints was ass. Let's tell the truth.
Absolutely.
And if it was anybody else that got the opportunities that you got at WrestleMania, got that many WrestleMania main events and so many of them were not memorable, we'd be talking about them in a different way. But because it's you, and because, like he said from the very beginning, they've always been pushing you as their guy. That's why make Roman look strong. It stung so much to you and it stung so much to your fans because everybody knows it's true. It's not the fact that you're not good. It's not the fact that you don't belong in that position. It's the fact that they've been telling us since day one, this is our guy. That's the thing that fans rebelled against. It's not, again, it has nothing to do with your talent. It has nothing to do with, you know, whether this guy is extremely good looking and all of these other things that people cling on to, that he has an it factor, that he has star power. All of those things may be true. But he's always been their handpicked guy. You can smell it on him from the very beginning. And it don't matter what you do, you can't wash that off. And people saw it. That's why people wanted Brian. That's why people wanted all of these other guys over you, because when the fans know that this is the company pick, they're going to rebel every time. And that's been a big part of it. You can say that Punk made your career harder. This person did this. No. No, we smelled it on you from the beginning, dog. And that stuff, when he got into his, hey, man, you was over here eating dog food for this weird old man. I was like, hey, man, nobody will ever be able to erase that period of SmackDown before he became before he became the tribal chief and they were trying to push babyface Roman and he had that awful feud with Baron Corbin. Hey, no, you will never be able to erase that time period or defend it. That stuff was some of the worst stuff on TV.
Suffering succotash too. Blue-eyed Roman. Like, he has way too many moments like that. And that's what's been funny about this whole build up for me, Phil, is when Roman's mad at CM Punk being like, you made life so hard. When I was rebelling against Roman Reigns, CM Punk had nothing to do with it. I was on Brian Danielson's side. CM Punk was nowhere to. I wanted Brian Danielson to go because of this exact thing. It's the exact thing that John Cena went through. If you tell us around every corner that this is the guy and he's better than your guys, we're gonna rebel. Even if at one point we start to like him, it's still gonna be in the back of our mind. You forced this guy upon us. You forced this guy down our throats.
At every turn.
Every time you turn around, every main event, you were like, this guy's the main event or this guy's the WrestleMania main event. None of these other guys matter. He can leave for 3 months and come back. He's a big star here. We're going to remember that. So I love Punk bringing that up of like, you keep trying to act like this is all my fault. But they laid the groundwork for you. They told us around every point that this is Roman Reigns' company, and if you come into this company, you got to go through him. And nobody's even mad at you for that. But to try to act like this is his fault is something else.
You keep trying to do this. I got it out the mud, and I had to go through all of these other guys to get here. Nah, dog, we were there. We saw it.
We were there.
We were there.
Mm-hmm. They had your cousin come out and hold your arm out after that, or up after that Royal Rumble. Like, dog, what did you think was going to happen here?
Yeah, no, we've seen it. So no, and again, we eventually got there. The heel turn did exactly what it was supposed to do for him. That run as the tribal chief, it's some of the best stuff he did of his entire career, and he should be celebrated for that. Him being the longest reigning champion of the modern era, he earned that. He had a great run on top, but it took us a long time to get there. It took us a long time to just acquiesce to what the fans have been saying for the longest. This guy doesn't work as a baby face. We don't like it. Make him a heel. As soon as you turned him heel, it was off to the races.
When did the Shield come in?
But it took us
2013 or something, like 2012?
2012, I think.
Because I'm leading to it. It almost took about 10 years for people really to be like, this is the guy.
It took a long time for us to get there, but we eventually got there. But man, he had to struggle through a lot of bad creative before that. We had to struggle through a lot of terrible attempts for them to try to push this guy down our throats. And it wasn't good. And I'm not going to listen to people act like because it eventually got here, oh, those people that didn't like him back then, you were always wrong about him. And you're listening to the Punk talk shit. No. A lot of this wasn't good.
Yeah.
A lot of it wasn't good. We eventually got there, but a lot of it wasn't good. So yeah, I was glad that part of promoting the match. One of the funniest things about this promo, though, he'd been coming out for weeks saying, this guy's not here. He ain't coming either because he don't come to work. And the crowd don't care. That audience does not care at all that he's not there because they've bought in. Mm-hmm. But he was like, hey, man, y'all keep chanting. Maybe he'll show up. And then he got into his, because initially he said again, y'all not about to sit out here and sit on your hands and boo me when I say this guy is not here. What is he doing? Why ain't he here? He keep acting like he the Rock, like he filming TV shows, he's filming movies. I film TV shows and movies all the time. So do Cody. We're here. Where's he? And that's when the crowd finally reacted. He was walking around like, yeah. I've been telling y'all. And so that part of it was hilarious to me because, like I said, he'd been trying to get that off for weeks. And they were not hearing him. This time, finally, when he saw them buy in after he dropped that line and they started saying ooh and ah, he was like, I got him. I was like, yeah, it took you long enough. But, bro, that was the other thing about this segment. He's been cutting promos all this time. And the audience is just like, well, we like Roman. This time, no. Mm-hmm. Nah. Them lines was hidden, buddy. Don't let nobody on the internet tell you different. Them lines was hidden. And I knew the lines were hidden when I started seeing the videos of people fact checking what he was said. I was like, oh, y'all got into now.
He got
you. It's over. Once you start coming back with that, it's over. Yeah, once you got to come back and Joe. Well, actually, it's not that he didn't work out in football. It's that he had leukemia, and that's me fact checking wrestling promos now.
The TikTokers are breaking it down line by line with rebuttals. I'm like, oh yeah, no, he got him. He really got him.
he got y'all in y'all feelings now. Yeah, it's over, bro. Y'all heard them oohs and ahs. Now, like, what are y'all oohing and ahhing for? Like, he's wrong.
I think it has to do, Phil, with we're on the road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania is next week, and he's still not here. And I think that's what the fans are. The fans are like, wait, he's still not promoting the fucking match. CM Punk is making a lot of sense. He's been here every week talking and doing this, and Roman has not. And we're on the road. We thought 2 weeks out that if we come to a show, we're going to see this guy, and he's still not here.
Yeah, and of course, that is true. The reason, because he was a D1 football player. His leukemia is what stopped him from having a football career. But in the promo of him calling him a nepo baby and saying, "Hey, you're only here because your daddy got your job," I didn't have that. I didn't have a dad here. I don't have The Rock. I got all of this on my own. No, it still hit. Because it just in the concept of a wrestling promo, it hit. Because he's like, hey, man, you had this guy that had you doing all this weird stuff to jump through every hoop in the world. And I was able to go away, burn a bridge, and still come back and still be one of the hottest guys in this company. You sat here and stayed here and took everything this guy was laying out to you. That still hit. And I mean, there's some cap to it. His whole saying, I had FU money and so I was able to leave. Some cap to them raps, but just in a moment of him being able to be like, hey man, I didn't ever need all of those things to connect with the audience. They've given you everything in the world. And it still took you this long to be the guy. It still took you this long for people to universally like you. I didn't have to do none of that. I just had to show up and be me.
Yeah, when everybody
they didn't want me in the spot.
When everybody, because I think the argument and what CM Punk is saying is even without the football stuff, because it's the same for The Rock. The Rock and Roman kind of had the same thing of like, I don't want to just be this wrestling kid. My family has been in wrestling for so long. I don't want to follow these footsteps. I want to go over here and try this football thing. Maybe I'll succeed in that and not follow in my dad's footsteps. But regardless, you got they were going to get you into wrestling, and without football, you would have been into wrestling. Like, it's like, regardless of whatever the situation is, you were going to end up where you were going to end up. And I think that's what CM Punk's saying. Like, you could have went to the NFL and became this big star, and you still would have ended up here off of Nepo baby shit just because of who your family is and how the WWE treats your family. Like, no matter what,
Absolutely.
you would have got the red carpet laid out for you.
Absolutely. And to his main point is, I don't need none of that.
Yeah.
I never needed any of that.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you without those things? We don't know. We don't know. And nah. He smoked this guy. I ain't trying to hear no otherwise. I was like, at one point, I was like, why were people really on my timeline acting like he belongs in the same category with this guy on the microphone? What are we doing? Hey, Roman has improved leaps and bounds as a talker, but there's talkers and then there's what that guy does. No. No. No.
It's different how, I mean, you saw like this week with Max on that Busted Open thing. You see it with Punk all the time. When we saw the face-to-face fills, the couple that they did have, you see the levels that there are. Like, Punk's doing this and Roman's just doing catchphrases. I'm like, there's a different level to how you talk, how you present a match, how you promote a match. Like, and he does it very different. And you saw this week off of this promo, because everybody was saying he did a pipe bomb again, and it's like, I wouldn't go all the way, jump out off the window like that. Yeah. But you understand why they're saying that.
Yeah, exactly. I thought this was great. I thought that this build needed this because there were too many promos where they were coming out there and having a catchphrase off. Roman's doing his catchphrase, Punk's doing his catchphrases. They're trying to motion to the crowd, and I was like, come on. If we're gonna get to it, if there's really hate here, get to the hate. And this was the first time where I was like, yes, we're here. I don't know what Roman does next week, but keep it at this level, keep it at this energy, because this feud needed this. I think WWE also needed somebody to speak on behalf of the company and on behalf of wrestlers the way that he did with the McAfee stuff. And again, there are some caps to this. When he brought up the weird old man stuff and he was like, I didn't have to keep eating what he was shoveling. I left and I came back, and basically, like, I wouldn't be here if the old man was still in charge. He was still there when you came back. I mean, we just got those texts that leaked, and yeah, no, he was still there when you came back, buddy.
We see that timeline.
He didn't have the same power. It wasn't the same situation, but he was still there. So there's caps. There's other things that he said in that promo that I was like, there's some, if you really think about it, yeah. But yeah, I thought that this promo was very much needed. The McAfee stuff, oh boy, smoked this guy's boots off, buddy. Came out there and was like, Pat McAfee, first of all. And I saw people saying, well, hey, you can bring up like who he votes for. It don't matter. You work for this company that is clearly in bed with MAGA. But for him to get on TV and call him Pat McAfee, I was like, who? What? That's where we are. Cooked that guy. Completely cooked this guy.
I'm so happy that he did that. I'm so happy that I saw this Damian Priest thing last night where he said this shit sucks. The locker room needs voices to express these things. Like, they need somebody like CM Punk, a tippity top fucking guy, to be like, dog, don't come on our show talking this shit, trying to act like you're better than us when you need us, and then the company runs off of us, and you're trying to act like we ain't shit. We don't like that. I love that they have a voice for that, because a lot of people are expressing these same frustrations. So you needed Punk to be the one to come out and be like, why are you talking all this shit and you're still trying to promote the same show that I'm trying to promote?
Yes. Him getting into like, why is this guy speaking on our business? I thought, like I said, that was needed, because you're going to get the people on your side with that. Like, because now it's like where we are with like all of this celebrity involvement and bringing this guy in there just because he has a name. And yeah, who are you to speak on ticket sales and ratings and what we should be doing as a business? Like, bro, you have not put the work in. You are not a wrestler like that to be able to talk like that in this industry. So that in itself was great. But then him getting into, go talk to your agents and tell him to lower the ticket prices. And the reaction he got to that, I was like, for him to go on TV and say lower the prices, like I of course this, people are going to get into whether this is a shoot or not. There's no way he went out there and just said all of that stuff. I don't believe at all that this was a shoot. They probably gave him bullet points. He probably got stuff approved, but regardless, to go on TV and be like lower the prices and get that kind of reaction, it only helps him look like a man of the people in front of that crowd and connect with that crowd. But then it also is just like, what are you doing as a company that one of your top baby faces had to get on TV and say that about Ari Emanuel and the parent company? Like this. Yeah. I mean, somebody put it perfectly. I saw someone tweet it. Both of your top champions are cutting shoot promos, quote unquote, on TKO and are getting good reactions. That's not a great sign. I don't think that's a great sign at all. But yeah, completely smoked this guy McAfee. He came back and tried to tweet some things, and I was just like, nah, I don't care about none of that.
Yeah.
I don't care about none of that at all.
Keep it.
And so we also got this. We got this announcement that he had a surprise this week for SmackDown. And then there have been various reports about why he was brought in. The prevailing report at this point was this was an Ari Emanuel call. He was always going to be the person that was on the phone. He initially rejected it, but, this was really an Ari pitch.
Yeah.
I just cannot get behind this idea of we did John Cena versus Cody Rhodes last year. And we didn't just do John Cena versus Cody Rhodes last year. We finally turned John Cena heel. We did this historic heel turn for him. And we still felt like that's not a good enough story. That's not big enough. We got to add Travis Scott to it. It's like, this is such a huge moment for you as a company. You've been saying since then this was the biggest heel turn ever. But you still feel like you got to add a celebrity to get people interested. And that shows a real disconnect with your audience. That shows a real disconnect with wrestling fans. And you do all of this. You have what is the worst WrestleMania main event in recent memory. And then you have this Travis stuff on top of it as the cherry on top. And people hated the Travis stuff.
Hated it. Couldn't stand it. They look back disappointed on it when they talk about the John Cena stuff. It's a stain on it.
People hated the Travis stuff. We haven't seen Travis since. And you're now coming into 2026 doing a WrestleMania main event between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. A matchup that people have wanted since Cody came back to WWE. You got all the history in the world here. They were in a faction together. Cody turned on him. Even the way Randy Orton came back for War Games, and Cody talking about that phone call they had. Randy's mentorship. You have so much here to play off of. You have so much great storytelling here that you could have delved into. And you're like, nope, still not good enough. We need a celebrity. Put Pat McAfee in there. Who is that for? Your audience has been telling you, we want this match. They're signed up. They want this. But you're just like, hey, how can we make this better? Here, let's add the celebrity that nobody wants involved in this, especially after last year. People are telling you, I didn't want this Travis stuff. No, we're going to put an even less cool celebrity in the mix and shove this down our throats. Why? Why?
To get heat on the heel.
Bro. And then you've got Jelly Roll in like multiple segments a week. You've got Jelly Roll being the guy that confronts Pat McAfee when Pat McAfee comes to the show. It's like, bro, who is this for? Who is this for? And people were like, well, the internet hates it, so it shows that they're doing something right. Is it that the internet hates this from a character point of view, or is it the internet hates corporate meddling? Because that's what this feels like. If your fan base, wrestling fans, are like, hey, this guy is here because some executive in the office wants him here, they're not booing it because they hate what he's saying. They hate what this represents. And you have so many people that should know better being like, oh, see, this is the internet crowd being gotten to. No, the internet crowd, a lot of these people in this crowd like WWE. They like what WWE has been doing for the past 4 years. They're telling you, this is bad. I don't like it. That's it.
Yeah. I don't know why people can't really understand that part of this being like, this is bad. It's not a knock against anything else. It's just like, this is a bad thing. There's just continuously coming around every corner to say that the wrestlers are less than is where I get caught up. We got Roman being like, none of you guys are up to my par. And then you got Pat McAfee being like, you guys can't sell tickets. I want the past. I want this. It's just like, are there wrestlers worth anything that they think that as wrestlers they can't sell anything?
It just makes no sense for you to be. We talked about this last week. For you to have the business that you had for 3 years up to this point, you're doing the best business you've done in 30 years. You're selling out shows. You had the top merch seller in Cody as champion. This guy's doing all this great business for you. And then you're like, hey, that guy, though, he's a loser. Because some celebrity says so? Again, that shows such a big disconnect with your audience, because some celebrity shows up and it's like, hey, that guy's a loser. We should be going with 40 plus Randy Orton. He's the real winner here. Like, who is that for? And then again, for Punk to cut the promo and the audience is behind him. He is getting some of the loudest reactions at all these shows. And you got, again, celebrity guy coming in and saying, that guy's a loser, though. Y'all like that guy? Yeah, they're telling you that. That don't. And to your point with the Roman stuff, Punk showing up every week being like, I'm a fighting champion. I'm here to promote this WrestleMania main event. And then you have Roman being like, well, you're try hard. I ain't got to be there. I had to show up every week. And then, like I said, on the backs of that, you got McAfee telling the audience, y'all like this guy that's just showing up? I ain't got to do all that. I'm a celebrity.
Yep. I'm bigger than that.
Who the hell is that for? Who is that for? Like, I just don't get any of that. But yeah, we got McAfee showing up to the arena. Right away, Nick Aldis is telling everybody, nobody can put a hand on this guy. Somebody higher up has already put in the claim. Nobody can put a hand on this guy. Okay. Comes there, Jelly Roll comes up and it's like, hey, did you tell Randy to RKO me?
Jelly Roll.
When that was happening and Jelly Roll is like, got him hemmed up and up against the wall and he's like yelling in his face, and Nick Aldis is like, no, nobody's supposed to touch him, and he shoves Nick Aldis too, and he's like, yeah, what's your problem? Why aren't you doing anything about this? I was like, dog, this is Jelly Roll. Why? Again, who is this for? Who is this for? Yeah. So all of the stuff that Pat is doing as a heel, none of this is landing for me. No. Pat continuing to call Nick Aldis foreign Adam Pearce and trying to run down like the company and all of this other stuff. And it's like, all right, but wait a minute. You were a commentator on this show. It's not like you just showed up as the celebrity and saying all this stuff is lame. Oh, you guys like this. you were a commentator. And we'll get to that when we get to Cody's rebuttal, because I was like, all right, finally somebody on the show said it, because this doesn't make sense. So comes out there and cuts a promo. Boy, one of the worst promos. One of the worst promos I've seen in recent memory.
Pretty bad.
This was bad. His attempts at humor, his attempts at trying to get heat, his big surprise being that WrestleMania is now 25% off up to Monday Night Raw. Yeah. This segment was embarrassingly bad. It was bad. Even his rebuttal to Punk, and he's like, "Oh, lower the tickets. You're telling me that you're not worth that much money to come to see. Like, that's what you're telling me, Punk. You're telling me that people shouldn't pay that much to come see you." Again, that just shows a total disconnect with your audience and why people would cheer Punk saying lower the prices. That shows me you just don't get it. And then he goes into, all right, well, you're saying all these lower the prices while you're standing up there with WWE merch on. You've got a WWE CM Punk jacket on. You got a WWE CM Punk t-shirt on. This guy's got dozens of pieces of merch on WWE Shop for people to buy. And when he gets his check every month from WWE for all the merch he sells, I don't see him putting all that money back to the fans or giving that money back to people downtrodden. This is a guy that apologized for Saudi Arabia. Correct me if I'm wrong. Hasn't he gone to Saudi Arabia?
Mm-hmm. He had a match there, didn't he?
Hasn't he done commentating and he's doing Saudi Arabia stuff? Again, it's just a disconnect on what, like, him asking to lower the prices doesn't have anything to do with what he makes in merch sales. Like, you trying to be like, oh, but this guy makes a lot of money off this company. And, you know, for him to be out here saying lower the prices, that's the height of hilarity. No, it don't really hit the same when you also have been a big part of the machine of this company trying to sell us things.
And like,
you're a hypocrite because you make a lot on merch sales.
And why is it seems like all the disses are just company disses? Because that's like, well, you went to Saudi. I'm like, well, why is going to Saudi bad then? Like, explain to me in kayfabe why that's wrong.
You work for this company. You've been working for this company. It's not like you're an outside entity that just showed up as a celebrity that had nothing to do with this company going to Saudi Arabia and being a big flag waver for everything this company has been doing. That as a rebuttal to that, I was just like, I mean, again, Punk doesn't come off well with a lot of stuff with WWE because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you say about this company. You went back there. You did the Miz tweet all those years ago, and told him to go, suck a blood cover, whatever. And you ended up going to Saudi Arabia anyway, and you apologize. That don't really work well as a gotcha in this promo where he's telling everybody the product sucks and they're not selling tickets, but also telling us Punk sells a lot of merch and people really like this guy and he's making a lot of money off of merch.
He tried to hit his bullet points, but when he was hitting them, it was like, what do you mean?
I don't. You can be like, oh, let's be honest, Punk is a hypocrite, but the diss coming from McAfee when McAfee was a big cheerleader for this company,
don't hit.
I don't really get what that's supposed to get us to think. At the end of the day, should you not lower the ticket prices? And to that point, your surprise was 25% off the ticket
prices.
So it's like, hey, you got this hypocrite saying lower the ticket prices. Hey, but guys, 25% off tickets. Huh? I, whatever. So yeah, the promo was just not it for me, and I think it made it even worse when Cody came out there and Cody spoke and he was saying how, hey buddy, you're talking about stuff from 30 years ago. Randy was never part of the Attitude Era. All stuff we said on this podcast. And then he was like, you are on calling people marks, calling people this, and running down our fans. No, these customers, these fans are the reason why we do what we do. We wouldn't have anything if these people didn't show up and buy our merch or buy tickets to these shows. These people, I wouldn't have had the life I've had, all of that stuff without these fans. And of course he did the babyface. They're family to me. They're not just customers. Yeah, that's gonna hit with the audience because again, they pay their money to come to these shows. Nobody wants to hear basically you're stupid for coming to support this terrible product or support Cody Rhodes as a champion. Like nobody wants to hear that.
Or Punk or any of them. Hey, you're an idiot for coming to the show. You guys you paid these prices now. Like, why are you calling your fans dumb?
No, nobody wants to hear that. And then, Cody's been saying what I've been waiting for somebody to say. He was like, hey, man, you was standing up on the table, yeeting your heart out, cheering a lot of this stuff on this show. Now it sucks? Now you're Mr. Attitude, Mark? You're Mr. Attitude Era, Mark? That ain't what you were saying when you were on commentary. That ain't what you were saying when you were dancing with Boogs and jumping all on the table when Nakamura came out.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, what changed? Oh, Ari made a call? Okay, cool. You can't do both because two people that watch this show, that's the disconnect. You just showing up as a heel now and being like, Randy Orton is going to save this company. Nah. That ain't what you were saying on commentary. That ain't what you were saying when you were trying to get in. When you were just showing up.
I just thought about something. This is not a new bit. When ECW was on TNN, they had Don Callis as Cyrus come in as Cyrus the Virus, and he was talking for the network. That's essentially what Pat McAfee is doing, right? Like he's coming in talking for TKO to be like, these are all the things they think are wrong, and these are all the things I'm gonna make right because they think I'm a big star.
Well, which one is it? Because I was told from the beginning, he's talking to all you internet wrestling fans. He's talking to IWC, and he's speaking on behalf of them. Oh, is he speaking on behalf of them, or is he speaking on behalf of TKO and Ari? You're doing this you're doing this Dan Lambert bit where you run down the product all these people are telling you like, or are you speaking on behalf of internet fans? Which is it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I keep being told one thing, and then when I pick apart why that doesn't make sense, then we jump somewhere else.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't make sense, and it's not good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, Cody completely eviscerated this guy on the mic because Cody really does this. Cody's a talker. Cody's a pro wrestler. This guy is a celebrity playing at pro wrestling, and he was exposed as such in this segment because he wasn't a good promo, and then when a guy that actually does this came out there, he looked even worse. And he tried to taunt Cody when he walked away and said, oh, man, go kiss Triple H's ass some more, Stardust, and all these other things. And Cody came back and was like, hey, man, you high right now, or did you forget what you used to be doing for this company, standing up on the desk? Or do we need to get Gunther back out here to put your ass back to sleep? I was like, dog, in this is, bro, in this is somebody that just showed up for some Taibo lessons and punched the speed bag a few times in there with a real professional boxer, dog. In this don't belong on my TV, bro. Get Randy out here. We're trying to promote Randy versus Cody, and we're dedicating all this time for this guy that is not a wrestler, that don't work here as a wrestler, to come out there and get his fake promo off to the fans. Get Randy in there. Promote this match.
Phil, I've been seeing pictures of Pat McAfee with the WWE Championship. He ain't even in the fucking match. Why is he posing with the belt? Why is he front and center in the fucking photos? Randy Orton's playing back the fucking second fiddle to him. Randy Orton's in the match.
Dog, they put up a graphic for this segment where it was Cody and Pat, and Randy was in the background. Get Randy out there. Get this guy off my TV. And don't fucking tell me I'm saying get him off my TV because the heat is working. No, get him off my TV because he's a fucking lame. None of this is good. He sucks. Get it off my TV. And I know people might see this and go, oh, he's reacting, so it's working. No, stop fucking insulting my intelligence. This is not good. Stop it. Just cut it out. I signed up for Cody versus Randy. When they did that visual of Cody and Randy with doing his pose in the background, I was like, we're here. Do the match. We ain't had one segment where Cody and Randy have spoke to each other in that ring. WrestleMania is next week. It's next fucking week. And you're still trying to tell me, oh, well, we're getting good heat off of this. That crowd did not care. That crowd didn't care. They weren't booing this guy. He wasn't get good reactions. They were like, why are we listening to this guy?
Mm-hmm. Or Jelly Roll.
Then you end the segment with Randy being like, hey Cody, I'm up here beating up Jelly Roll backstage. And then that's where we get to Cody having to save Jelly Roll, and that's how we get Randy in the fucking segment finally. And then they're standing tall over Cody and Jelly Roll, and Pat McAfee is walking out with the belt. Hey, man. Enough. Enough, dog. Enough. This Jelly Roll shit ain't good. This Pat McAfee shit ain't good. Get this off my TV, dog. When I said I did not finish SmackDown, it's because I was just like, fuck enough. This is not good. And like I said, it will be fucking misconstrued of people being like, oh, all these internet people are disliking the video and going on all these rants on social media, going on rants on podcasts, all this other stuff. Yeah, because you guys, the heat's working. No. This ain't good. Stop.
Big difference between I hate this and this not being a good thing. This is not good. Fans are revolting on both sides. The fans in the crowd don't give a shit, which means that shows something because they react for everything.
No.
And for them to even be like, oh, what is this? Why do we even have to be sitting here for this means a lot. The visual of him having the championship, Phil, and it feels like he's going to be the one to beat Cody, or they've done this angle before where they have like some authority figure as the guy. Vince has won the world championship before. Like, they like this bit, but it's making your wrestlers look dumb. Stop making Cody look dumb around every corner, because Phil said it best. As wrestling fans, the worst thing for us is for our intelligence to be insulted, for you to piss on us and tell us that it's rain. We hate that shit. And wrestling fans are intelligent enough at this point to understand what's going on. They keep trying to go with this IWC talk and act like those fans are dumb. They're not dumb, dude.
No. Because you keep trying to go, okay, well, these fans they think they know everything. They think they're smarter than what they really are. They know too much about behind the scenes stuff. I don't know, company that shows us behind the scenes stuff that has Unreal and all of these other things. Like, you think
they know everything and they're showing us everything.
You don't think you're partially to blame for this mentality from fans? And again, yeah, fans are smarter than they were before, but that's even more reason why I feel like you're insulting people's intelligence by doing this. Oh, well, he's just a heel and he's talking to you guys and that's why you're getting frustrated. No, anybody that sees this for what it is, even if you don't know the reports, if you don't know the reports that Ari is sending this guy in and it was his plan, it was his idea to put him on TV. Even if you're just a casual wrestling fan, it looks like you're putting this guy that was a pro football player on TV to get viral moments or boost ticket sales off of him. None of that feels organic. He's not getting booed because he's coming out there and saying something that people don't like. He's being booed, or he's not getting a reaction because he's an unnecessary addition to a storyline that people wanted. Mm-hmm. Why is he here?
And he's already an established character too, Phil. Like, he's been here for like 5 or 6 years. It isn't like some fresh off the street guy coming in and talking all this shit. Wrestling, the WWE universe has already seen him in matches. They've already seen him do all these things.
Yes. And as somebody that has been on the I don't like this guy bandwagon all the way back when he was on commentary, if you remember, me and our other co-hosts were like, hey, this guy's corny.
Yeah.
Been saying that. Mm-hmm. So him trying to play this character is even more corny.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good. And yeah, no. And if you just were doing this as like this special attraction thing, because I saw this in reaction to the article I wrote for Bleacher Report about how storytelling is really at the expense of all this celebrity involvement. Mm-hmm. People will be like, well, they have been using celebrities from the beginning, which I pointed out in an article, by the way. Yes, celebrities have been a part of the build to WrestleMania since day one.
Yeah.
Going all the way back to WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania, of course, Mr. T in the main event with Hulk Hogan, Cyndi Lauper coming out there with Wendy Richter. No, celebrities have always been a part of the WrestleMania build, and you always know at this time of the year you're going to see more celebrities. But the thing that makes this not good is Mr. T coming in at the time is Mr. T. He's a guy coming in with a cool factor to him. Cyndi Lauper is a rock star. She's coming in the MTV era with a cool factor to him. Like, even if you look at Bad Bunny has a cool factor to him. Bad Bunny is just like intrinsically cool. He has a mystique to him. This guy is not cool. There's nothing about what he's doing that's cool. He's not coming in and situating the product. None of that. When The Rock came back from Hollywood, I said this last episode, he came back and he said, wrestling is cool again. And you got this guy coming on your show and being like, hey, all you dorks still like wrestling. What they're doing here is bad. The Attitude Era is where it's at. This stuff from 30 years ago was cool. Again, who the hell is that for?
And this is like 2 different generations of fans that don't even carry the Attitude Era like that, and he's trying to push that the Attitude Era needs to come back, and these fans do not care about that.
No, you're talking about some people that were born after the Attitude Era. Like, some of these people don't care, man. Like, and I mean, yeah, you know, some people hold the Attitude Era in a high regard, but it's like the way you're trying to paint it as like, oh, we got to go back to that time period, but then also trying to push Randy Orton on us. No,
people that like the Attitude Era don't even hold it fondly. I see a lot of people that were there being like, it wasn't really that great upon rewatch. Like, I don't even know like what you're fishing for, dog.
Fishing. You doing stuff you're doing stuff to get a reaction, like mentioning the Attitude Era because you know the audience cares about that, but then also trying to tell us that, oh, you guys are stupid and you're dumb. Then why are you out here trying to do it? Yeah. It just everything about it is just dumb and it doesn't make sense. And again, you cannot get me past the fact of why are you here? Why are you involved in this main event storyline that does not need you? Mm-hmm. Nothing about this storyline needed Pat McAfee.
Mm-mm. They had to create an angle to bring him in. They had to find a lane to be like, oh yeah, now like they had stories that they built in their own company, and they're like, nah, forget about those.
Yeah, and when I turned up a few minutes ago, and people will be like, oh, well, I've never seen him get that mad. No, because what's really agitating me is this idea that people don't know when they don't like something. It's just being like, oh, it's not that you don't actually like it. It's that he's getting under your skin. No, I don't like this. And I'm telling you, I don't like this. And there are a lot of people that are voicing that online. Just like people voiced that they didn't like the Travis stuff. And people are like, well, you know, the heat's working it. No, this is not good. Stop fucking trying to tell me that I'm not smart enough to tell you when I don't like something. Like, cut it out. Like, all you internet marks, all you do is complain. You just want to complain about anything. Hey man, if it's good, it's good. And there's been a lot of things that WWE has done over the past few years that has been good and has gotten the praise that it deserved. But, dog, if you can't voice your opinion as a fan base in a genre that needs fucking crowd reactions, where crowd reaction is important to what they do in that ring, you can't then try to tell me, oh, well, you guys just don't get it. No.
Crowd reactions are the sixth man of pro wrestling. Like, without crowd reaction, there is no pro wrestling.
No. And, you know, I said this, I said this in the article as well, and I think this is the most damning thing about all of this. You got to tell me what this is for if it's to get heat. Because this is a thing that I think people keep misunderstanding every time. They'll be like, oh, it's a work and you're getting worked. Okay, what's the end goal to the work? If we're working, then where are we trying to get? Like, why are you working people and to what end? Because that was the thing that I asked. Remember when people were saying the Karrion Kross thing was a work? I was like, okay, then what are they trying to do with this? What's the end goal to it? Okay, if this is a work and this is get people riled up at Pat McAfee, okay, what does that do for this match? You're promoting a WrestleMania main event. What does this do for this match?
Because this story is just telling me that I want to see Cody Rhodes beat up Pat McAfee.
Yes. And if you're telling me, oh, well, they had to do something because Randy was getting booed, he's not getting a reaction to none of this. They didn't get a reaction. That crowd did not care about a lot of this stuff. And when they did boo, they booed McAfee. They still like Randy Orton. They still like Randy Orton as a heel. They still like Randy Orton doing stuff that he did in the Ruthless Aggression era. So, no, that's not doing what it's supposed to do. And if you have if you have Cody and Punk cutting promos on TKO and Ari, and now people are like, yeah, Ari, lower the prices. Again, what does that do for this match? Because Ari Emanuel is not a wrestling character.
My favorite part about this is that it's had an adverse effect because now people are cheering when Randy Orton shows up because they know Pat McAfee's going to shut the fuck up. Like, you're making us cheer Randy Orton more because we know that it's the end of you. And doing the opposite of what you want. We're supposed to be booing this guy, but we're like, damn, when he's here, at least Pat McAfee will shut the fuck up.
Exactly. What does that do for this story? Who's the villain in this story then? Is it McAfee? Is it Ari Emanuel?
Right.
Are either of those people wrestling in the main event of WrestleMania?
Can't punch either one of those guys.
And if you're then telling me, oh, it's for the Backlash match that's been reported, which is potentially Randy and Pat McAfee versus Cody and Jelly Roll. Again, we're booking to a WrestleMania main event next week.
It's next week.
So who's that for? Yeah. I have been positioned multiple times on this podcast as, you know, Reg's Fed-friendly friend, the person on this podcast, even when Will was here, that enjoyed WWE more than the other people on this podcast. We've been doing this podcast since 2021. This is the most embarrassing thing I think they've put on TV since we started this podcast. No joke, no exaggeration. I think that this Pat McAfee stuff was the most embarrassingly bad thing they've put on TV since we started this podcast. And all the reactions of me saying this is really abysmal, this is bad, is because I was sitting in disbelief at how bad it is. And like I said, this is a week away from WrestleMania.
We're on the road.
And there's been many things that I've come on here and I've been like, hey, I like this. And you've been like, I don't like this. No, you can't defend this. This is bad. And this is the second year in a row where you're trying to get Cody Rhodes to come out from under your bad creative. You're putting him in a bad spot as your champion, and you're expecting people to continue to like this. No, it don't work.
Again, just like I said, why does Cody have to look like an idiot around every corner? You did this bad creative, you make Cody look like shit, and then they hand him the mic and they say, go fix this, Cody. And it's like, well, if you didn't put him in this position, he wouldn't have to go fix this.
Why you got this guy in there punching down at somebody that ain't in his weight class? The whole point to this was we want Cody versus Randy.
Mm-hmm.
It does nothing for Cody. And I know people will be like, well, at least Cody got cheered again in that segment. What does that do for the match?
My favorite thing about this whole thing is they keep saying celebrity involvement. We need celebrities. Here's Jelly Roll. Here's fucking Lil Yachty. Here's all these guys. But like the hottest period that they've had in the last couple of years is Roman versus Cody. And I guess you could call Rock the Rock a celebrity if you want. He was involved. But most of it was about wrestlers that wrestle in this company. And it wasn't about outside forces. And it wasn't about the fucking TKO. And it wasn't about any of that bullshit. But they're like, in order to get hot, we need celebrities. But you've shown us you can get hot without celebrities. So I'm just confused, I think, Phil.
You did it for a good amount of years. You got to this point with the Cell and TKO and like the current product of having celebrities there every week waving in the crowd because the product is cool again.
Yes. Not because of the celebrities.
You're trying to tell me too many things at once and then you're trying to tell me it makes sense.
Yeah.
No, it don't. No, it don't.
No, even worse, Phil, is they're trying to tell you you're dumb because you don't understand it, which is worse than it being like, you know what I mean? Like, not only is it suck, you're telling me I'm dumb for thinking it sucks.
Yeah, no, this was, like I said, this was bad. And it was so bad that I was legitimately looking at the screen like, why is this on my screen? What are we doing? Again, who is this for? I just didn't get it. But, you know, people will get on the internet and defend it. What can you do? I don't know. I've already seen it. I don't know. Yeah, send us your super chats. That is the best way to get your chats read on the stream. We're going to get through our super chats and our humper chats and then run through this AEW Dynasty card and ride off into the sunset.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all as always. The homie Tyrone Kid says, LOL at WWE selling Oba's dollism looking beads. SMH. Is he? Are they?
Yeah. Every time I see people with those kind of things that are like cultural things outside of wrestling, like when I see people wearing like the Ula Falas and like wearing all of Roman stuff, it's just like, and it's like very white people. It's just very funny to me every time I see it.
I mean, wrestling is so weird. I still see people in Hobbs's old Big Black and Jack shirt that are not Big Black and Jack, and I'm like,
I hate that I didn't get one. I hate that I didn't get one of those shirts before he left AEW, because yeah, you know, part of memorabilia now.
Absolutely,
it's probably a collector's item now. I hate that I didn't get one.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tyrone. Ben Simpner says, no disrespect to Royce Keys. I love him, but I was afraid if I watched, I would see Pat McAfee or any of the other stuff that sucks on a regular basis. Yeah.
I totally understand where you're coming from. But again, I thought that the Royce stuff was good. I thought that the Danhausen stuff was fun. But yeah. Before I checked out, I was like, yeah, no. Enough.
Danhausen had its first match. I was, again, not offended by the Danhausen stuff at all. I'm like, I don't know why people are so like, because it fucks people up, Phil. They can't it's like they don't want to like it. And like, if Danhausen does something that they like, it's like, I can't believe this guy would elicit this emotion out of him. Like, Danhausen is not killing the business, you guys. It's fine.
Again, this is just how tone deaf this is. You've got this guy who is supposedly this bigger star than any wrestler. He's a pro football player. He's coming out and doing all this stuff. That crowd don't care. Danhausen coming out there and stretching his hands out and doing his catchphrase, and the crowd is saying it with him. The disconnect, bro. When he did the "You Are Cursed" in that match, that crowd was locked in. They were yelling it with him.
Yeah, bits, man. Appreciate that, Ben. Bushin Ryu Cat says, so after WrestleMania, Pat gets his gig as Raw co-host back.
He keeps telling us if Randy loses this match that he's going to go away forever, which I think makes it very clear that Randy is going to win. Because they wouldn't do all of this and just start this stuff within the past 2 weeks and then have Cody just win and have him go away. So Randy is clearly winning, and we're going to continue to do this stuff with him moving forward.
Well, because like you said, we got to get to the Backlash match too, and it's like, oh God.
Exactly. and people have pointed out that it's basically the same thing they did last year of like, Cena said, if he wins, he's going to take the belt and take it home with him. And so obviously you've got to let that play out. Now that he's made the threat, he can't lose now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to do the same thing. It's going to set up a Backlash match and then get back to a place where, Cody eventually beats this guy. And it's just like, but why? Why? Like, why would you do that?
Bad.
Why are you repeating your same mistakes? I just don't.
Shane Monster says, while I like ROH in the studio for stopgap shows, saw the last one with 6 hours of tapings on a Monday. TK just burning out that small crowd. Eesh. Yeah, I think that, like I said, I like it. I think it's great matches. I think that the crowds, you're going to run into the same problem you're running into if you're just running them this way. There has to be more incentive on the stories and what's going on the show to get people to continue to come, because just getting people to show up for matches, you will every time, but excited and are going to yell and stuff for the matches is going to take a little bit more. They're working on it. They'll figure it out.
You still got some work to do to figure out what the identity of Ring of Honor is. And then you spent so much time making Ring of Honor an afterthought to your programming and attaching it to the taping schedule for your programming. You got to get people to purely show up for Ring of Honor, and it's going to take some time to do that. You need to get an audience that's just showing up to those tapings for ROH, and they just don't have that yet.
Because it's still a new thing with the tapings and stuff. It's going to take some time for people, like Phil saying, to get over the fact that they think ROH is just some show, some off-brand. They're just doing AEW bits over there. You got to reestablish what it is and reestablish what we're going to do moving forward. I think they're on their way, though.
Yes.
The homie Tenruza says, Kazim O'Shea tweets are whack. TK run Mania 27 Wrestle Kingdom.
I haven't seen this O'Shea tweet that you're talking about. I think the cast tweet I saw, I think he said, hey, the celebrity stuff is hitting, but this was before Pat came out there to shoot him some bail. I think he meant the Yachty stuff.
He has to be specific.
You absolutely have to in these day and ages. We need context. But even the Yachty stuff, it feels like Yachty isn't doing a bad job as a hype man for Trick, but every time he's done stuff so far, I'm like, nah, Trick got it. I don't think he needs him.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. Like, it looks cool. It's a good visual for both, but like Trick would be fine without it. It's again just like inserting a celebrity just because it's a celebrity.
Yeah, there's tweets that I've seen that I'm just like, okay. But yeah, I didn't see this O'Shea tweet you're talking about, Tenruza. So, but yeah, he likes what they're doing. I don't know. He's a celebrity and he likes what they're doing.
Listen, bro, see the play. He wants that opportunity eventually. Also, Zay Zay Review says, "What if Cena is the corporate authority figure?"
I don't think so. He's going to be hosting WrestleMania. I personally think it's too soon for him to host WrestleMania after he just said he was retiring. But again, all of this is to boost tickets and everything. But no, I just don't see you doing a whole retirement angle for him and then having him come back as like even just an on-screen character in the mix of all of this. And then even just how he went out, like you just saw during the heel turn that the audience doesn't want to boo him. So why would you even try to do that?
I laughed out loud when they announced Cena was going to be here. And then people were yelling at me on the internet, Phil, when I was just like, why didn't he do the retirement match here? And they had all these excuses as to why it would take away from the show. I'm like, it's WrestleMania. What the fuck do you mean? Like, I don't, John Cena, your biggest superstar you've ever had on your biggest show? No. Every time I want to find that show, I have to go find Saturday night's main event wherever the fuck it exists. What?
Yeah.
But ticket sales, bring him in. He'll host.
Yeah.
Tyrone Kidd says, congrats on WrestleMania Night 1 main event, Jelly Roll versus Pat.
Yeah, him also saying Saturday night sucks. Like,
are we selling the show, dog? Like, what is this guy talking about? Saturday sucks. Pull up to Sunday, dog. They're trying to sell tickets to that show too. What do you mean? The other Mikey V says Roman got to put Pat McAfee dinner after Friday. Got to buy Pat McAfee dinner after Friday. But he's kind of dissing Roman too, so I don't know.
Yeah, because I mean, to be honest with you, if I was Roman, I would feel the most offended by what he's saying, because with Roman on top and the bloodline stuff being what it was, he had the top rated segments every week on SmackDown. He was selling merch. He was doing all this great business so that when Cody came back, Cody had such an interesting foil for him, and they had a money making feud. And then you're getting on TV and telling me, oh, the Attitude Era is where it's at. Nah. In this generation, I'm the guy. You telling me that I haven't gotten it done as the guy over the past 4 years? Where you been?
Right. Isn't that just countering what they're saying, what Punk and Roman are saying? If Pat McAfee's like, all that shit sucked. Actually, we like that old shit. But we were just doing huge business. We're still doing huge business in a lot of places that we go. Yes. But this shit sucks? What do you mean?
Yeah, like I said, Roman should be the most offended by this. It's like, well, what do you mean? We got to go back 30 years to talk about when we did good business? Where was you at when I was on top killing things?
Crazy. Let that guy go on their TV show and talk like that. And he's saying all these F-bombs and he's just like flying off the cuff. I'd be pissed off if I was a wrestler back there.
Yeah, all of this, the business, bro, you aren't a wrestler.
Pat McAfee's talking for the business. Fucking Logan Paul's defending our business. I'm like, I think we got to get different people to help us. The homegirl CM Smiley says, afternoon, boys. Hope y'all are well. Shit is chaotic out here in Chicago wrestling right now. I want to fight, but I got my nails done, so I'm calm. Hi, Reg. What's up, my friend Tracy? I hope that you're having a good day. I hope that you're having a good week. I hope that you're having a good year. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit to start the show. Chicago wrestling is in turmoil, but Chicago is one of the hottest wrestling regions that they are, and they will bounce back.
Yes.
Shane Monster also says, positive note, that Danny Luna free agent video, yes, amazing, great. She is, when we were talking about it earlier, Phil, like the fact that they let her, someone like her, just go or whatever happened when it looked like she was on her way to be the fucking leader of that Knockouts division, and she's gone, is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely going to get signed.
Absolutely.
Like, There's no way. She's just too good.
Grapple Geekery says Dan Lambert is one of two people I want back in AEW less than Jericho. Watching McAfee do that shtick in ill-fitting sunglasses WWE is painfully bad. Horrible.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I just continue to think like this whole idea that, hey, this guy knows what's cool. This 40-year-old old NFL player, that's the guy that's supposed to be telling us what's cool. And again, we've seen this guy on TV for prior years. No, this guy's a cornball. Oh, wrestling fans don't know what's cool. This guy that makes more money than them, that's a celebrity. He knows what's cool.
That's the thing. Money.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Horrible.
No thanks. No thanks. Yeah, again, I've been on this guy's corny routine for quite a long time.
From the beginning, essentially. Grapple Geekery also says, how does any of this make him the new Stallone?
Yeah. Dog. Yeah. Yeah, Tyron Kidd. And that's the funniest thing about it. It's not like this guy is like, if you're going to bring in this guy that's like an old NFL player, like if you're bringing in like Aaron Rodgers or like somebody that was like a QB or like this running back or something, this guy was a punter.
Owens was like some like big personality. This guy was a punter.
This guy was a punter. Y'all keep trying to tell us he's no. Get this guy out of here, dog. Get this guy the fuck out of here, bro. Like immediately. Expeditiously.
Sick world, G. He's going to main event WrestleMania next year, probably. At this rate.
Oh my god. Yeah. Appreciate you guys for sending your super chats. Gonna get into a few of these Humper chats. From Humper Chats regular Tony P says, this week has been kind of quiet. Yeah. You had child rapists die with certain people and outlets celebrating his life. LOL TNA doing LOL TNA stuff. Coachman looking dumb. And Russo trying to spread his cheeks for TKO. I mean, it's for TK with WWE begging the fans like Keith Sweat. Yeah. Again, that guy won't get any tribute on this show.
Don't even want to speak on anything he's concerning, honestly.
No, that guy will not get no tribute on this show. I saw somebody talk about it, and they were basically like he was the most famous pedo before Epstein was a thing, and I was like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Shut this down. Cut these cameras off.
Please hurry up too, because I just can't take anymore. I don't like it here.
Please, no more. More from Tony P. He says, this week's been kind of, sorry, read that one already. He says, but overall, nothing major happened or was announced. No Pat that was begging. Maybe it did, and I'm desensitized now, which isn't good. But at least I get to see Takeshita Okada at Double or Nothing. So for Petty of the Week winner, host choice today, we know it's sadly TNA possibly.
It's hard to say anybody beyond TNA.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Or Gucci, maybe. I don't know if that's petty what he did.
No, he was just kind of like, hey, look what happened to me, guys. That's kind of what that felt like to me. Like, look what happened to me. This is terrible. Tony also says the good AEW. I liked it. I liked the Jericho segment. That Guile Willow Queen match And that main event, AWPR, TK, and MJF's press tour and other places shooting themselves has been good for them. The coming end of the Heat season, plus Hikari Noah's return. Thanks, Unagi. AEW is good this week. Good to see Queen Amanada back in the mix. Her and Willow absolutely had a great match. Again, made me excited for the potential of a match with Tekla. If we're not doing that, I don't know the hell why not. Like, what are we doing? Like,
I think Queen showed immediately that we need that bad. Like we talked about it, like seeing this match announced and knowing their history. We talked about it with Tekla, like wanting to see her again. But then seeing Queen this week, it's like, oh yeah, no, we immediately need that. She came back with some fire. She came back even more vicious. I'm like, oh no, she's working for that Tekla match, and they got to put that on.
Have to. Tony says the more WWE tries to fix their messes, the more they seem to make things worse. They really need these matches to hit in order to have people forgot about the build to Mania. Plus, backlash news about that match, Berwin Hall news, and TNA. Yeah, the funny thing is, I think a lot of these matches are going to deliver in spite of the fact that the build has been bad. I would not be shocked at all if a lot of these matches end up over delivering, and then you're gonna have people saying like, "See, this is what y'all were complaining about. WrestleMania was actually fire." But that doesn't change the fact that a lot of this, the build for these matches has not been good.
That's what I hate about it more than anything, because they could just stick the landing of the show, and people be like, "This is why you guys need to be patient. Whoa, let it play out." And it's like, that's not. Don't do that.
Yeah, I guarantee you that's where this is heading. That a lot of these matches are going to deliver, and then people are going to be like, "See, I told you so." Because that's what people do. People will come back and make a point that is not a response to your actual point or your criticism, and then say, "I told you so." And it's like, no, that was never the conversation.
Yeah, you did not tell me so.
No, nobody is denying that company has a lot of great wrestlers that can have good matches, but like, what do they have them doing? Case in point, what the hell are they doing with Io Sky right now? Like, what is this build to WrestleMania for? I've watched this woman do nothing but lose all of 2026, and she was the MVP of this company last year. Like, I'm not as mad as some people that she lost to Jade, because it makes Jade look good. Jade's the champion. You should be trying to make Jade look good as champion. But why are you even putting her in that position? Why do you have her getting beat up by the baddies? How many times are you going to have like SmackDown or something in with Rhea holding her in her arms and saying, "I got you," and infantizing this 30 plus year old woman? Like, what are we doing?
The MVP, like you said, Phil, most people coming out of last year were saying their favorite wrestler in that company was Io Sky, man or woman, saying she had the best matches, saying she had all of this. And essentially her WrestleMania stuff is on standby right now. Like, they're talking about the it's determining what somebody else is doing, Phil. And it's like, wait, this is an MVP. What do you mean?
Yeah, if we're not announcing an Asuka match by next week, I don't know. There's a world where she might not be on the WrestleMania card when she was a part of the best match last year.
Maybe 2 years in a row, essentially. Yeah, like, she got a couple of like banging ass WrestleMania matches, and you guys are not. You're not.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
Because they don't care about wrestling. They keep saying that, Phil. I thought it was a bit, but maybe it's true.
Yeah. Tony P says, / what the fuck? Like Lyric said on WP, I was shocked Rico and Leon match was happening, and it was too good to be true. Yeah, the fan, it was a dream match, but for wrestlers, it was much more. Leon hasn't been doing indie bookings for a while, but wanted this match. Yeah, man. That's why, like I said, when Lyric brought it up on the Wrestle Purist podcast, I was just like, yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, why are they allowing this to happen? And we quickly got an answer.
They weren't.
Tony continues. He says, the fact that he is possibly on a normal pay per appearance TNA deal means you also took money out of his pocket. I wouldn't be mad if he told WWE to buy him out ASAP. Then reports are saying TNA talent are getting limited more in booking and screwing more. Yeah, but I feel like that's exactly what they want. Don't y'all want him? Don't y'all want him out of that contract? Don't y'all want us to buy him out of that contract?
Oh, that's a play too. Yeah.
But again, I would not be shocked at all. He will be a WWE wrestler, I believe, in the next 2 years.
Yeah, we better enjoy him as the few indie dates and matches we can get. Enjoy them because this is a WWE superstar.
Yes. Yes. Definitely think that's coming. Okay, I read that one. Then Tony also says, you also screw TNA talent now. It will be harder for them to get booked, seeing as TNA is willing to screw over indie promotions without making good. Also seeing TNA fans trying to defend Carlos and WWE. Word coming out that TNA talent are pissed is sad.
It'll all work out. It's wrestling.
Maybe. I don't know. And Tony says, to me, it always seemed like Carlos has always been in over his head. Ibu posted an old Wrestling Inc. story about TNA cutting ties with Ring of Honor and other indies in 2007, which was the year they started to decline because of many bad moves, which they're repeating. Yeah, it does feel like some history repeating here.
It's LOL TNA for a reason. That's why a lot of people weren't surprised. They kind of always have done moves like this, and I think they always will.
Yes. Got one from Orion Ben. He says, you know what is hilarious with the McAfee Punk Cody thing? It's like whoever planned this probably saw the South Park Cartman amusement park episode while drunk / high and went, that was a brilliant idea. Let's do that for WWE and don't bother to finish it. Yeah. I don't know why we couldn't just get Cody in Randy segments. I just don't understand. Why is he even here? Why is he in a mix? It's just like, what does this do for this storyline at all? I just don't get it. You could have done so many video packages leading up to this and showing like what is their relationship like, and we haven't gotten any of that. We're focusing on this Pat McAfee stuff, and I just don't understand why.
It's like we don't know why Cody and Randy are beefing, even though we know the whole story of why they're beefing, but they're just not telling us that on TV. It's super confusing.
I just don't get it. I don't understand it all. More of a Tony P. He says, when those X Division guys left, they went to ROH, which helped them rise. Now you don't have to worry about ROH, but AEW / ROH, and now Maple Leaf Pro, which is ran by a man they fired who has a good relationship with most of these current talent on the roster. Yeah, I think there's a reason why a lot of these people still want to work with Scott D'Amore, and the reason Maple Leaf has the vibe that it does. Gun, it's not a great sign for TNA. And then Tony says, now before I go, I have a bold prediction. All in London will outsell each night of Mania this year. With that, fuck war, this administration, and those Kamala Harris protesters. Protect one another. Peace and love. I haven't seen this Kamala thing you're talking about, but
yeah, me neither. Not surprised though.
I don't know. Yeah. We're more mad at the person that lost that's not in office doing these awful things. I guess that makes sense.
Ton of it. She would have did worse.
I keep seeing people.
I guess we'll never know.
I keep seeing people like, where is she? Why is she not doing anything? She lost. She was not voted in. What is she supposed to do? She has no power here.
Just another person like you and I.
Yeah. Coffee Black says that McAfee stuff is straight cheeks, but it won't matter because WWE is still going to make their money. Happy for that Royce Keys debut, though. Yeah, no, absolutely. The McAfee stuff being bad will not matter in a few months. They'll do something else that people like, and they'll be like, see, y'all have to be patient.
Yep. Gaslighted.
But literally, this is the most I've seen people saying. Yeah, but this is the most I've seen people saying this is bad in a while. Like, this is the most I've seen, like, WWE fans being like, this is bad. Mm-hmm. Like, there's some people that, like, there's some people that are so deep in the weeds and they defend everything they do, so they have to keep that same energy. They're never going to admit this is bad, but I've seen a lot of people saying this is not good. So.
Who would have thunk it? I thought Pat McAfee was going to come and save the whole show. No, he was not going to come and save the whole show. I don't know who thought that.
Why would anybody think that's good? I don't know. Why would anybody think that was the case? From Rafael Garcia, he says, I was on Threads the other day and someone compared Tekla's promo to an Atlanta man for... Wait, go back. Wait. Rafael Garcia says, I was on Threads the other day and someone compared Tekla's promo to an Atlanta man, and for some reason I can't unhear it. LOL. Anyway, wrestling. Wait, anyway, wrestling after that is crazy. Bro said, anyway, I'm KI double. Nah.
Anyway, wrestling. I'm gonna start saying that. Anyway, wrestling.
Politics sucks, but I hope they find other guys who could benefit from these matches, especially with MJF. Anyway, wrestling is hilarious, bro. Then our last Humper chat from D-Lo Diggs, he says, man, this week has been wild, from McAfee being fucking cringe, ruthless pro wrestling, messing things up, thinking of my Chicago peeps, but on the bright side, seeing WNBA players getting the bag, and happy with peace and love, everybody. Yeah, I don't know if you saw this, but WNBA officially has its first $1 million contract.
Oh, really?
Which is crazy.
I did not see this.
Yeah. I think it's a player on the Las Vegas Aces. But yeah, their first $1 million contract. I mean, the fact that it took this long is crazy, but it would have been hard to not justify paying the women at this point. They're continuing to expand the league. They just announced 3 more teams have gotten approved. It's like, if you're expanding the league and you're doing all of this, like, there's got to be money to pay the players. Like, you can't keep making excuses.
And that ain't even enough. They need to be giving up more than that $1 million with the damn NBA guys are making. Like, what's going on?
Absolutely. But yeah, if we're at this point, Caitlin's definitely going to eclipse that. Caitlin's probably going to end up being the highest paid player in the league. I've seen people say that the reason the Chicago Sky moved Angel Reese is because they didn't want to pay her. And it's just like, so you don't want to pay somebody that's going to be a franchise player for you? Why would you not want to just pay her? Just think about all the money you've made as an organization off of those Chicago Sky, Indiana Fever games. Like, you were running United Center.
Yeah.
That's how much of a demand there was for that rivalry, and you don't want to just pay her?
Greedy.
That don't make sense. I hope that that's not what it is, because if that's what it is, that is incredibly stupid and incredibly short-sighted.
You let a star player go is dumb.
Very dumb. Like, just colossal misfire. Like, I don't want to continue to get into just how stupid that was, but like, you fired the coach that you brought in after a year. Angel clearly liked the coach. Then you traded a lot of her supporting cast and the team got worse, then you trade her before you built anything around her. I don't
Smart,
get that.
hella smart.
Can't have nice things in the city if you like basketball, apparently.
Not in
I don't
Chicago.
Yeah. I said that online and people were like, yeah, no, just the gold and 6 championships. That was a long time ago, man. I would like to not keep watching Chicago Bulls lose. It would be nice to see them win something. I don't know.
No, ride the legacy of 30 years ago forever, Phil.
Yeah, no, that's what Bears fans do. They've been still continuing to celebrate a Super Bowl that happened before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point we gotta we gotta move on and do something else, bro. I feel you. Super Bowl shuffle. Hey man, love sweetness. Love the whole time period. But hey man, that was 40 years ago.
Absolutely. Shout out to the fridge.
Yeah, that's all of our Humper chats. I think that's all of our super chats for now. So let's get into this AEW Dynasty card before we get up out of here. AEW Dynasty will be coming to you live from Vancouver, Canada at the Rogers Arena. Quick 9-match card. When's the last time you saw a 9-match card on an AEW pay-per-view?
Collision hasn't happened yet, so I'm not riding on this being the final card.
Yeah, that's a very good point. We're probably going to end up with some more matches before all is said and done because of Collision. And I believe we got the countdown tonight. So we'll probably get some more matches announced by tomorrow. But I am very surprised that so far, 9 matches. The pre-show match, Alex Windsor will be taking on Marina Shafir. Shout out to Alex Windsor. If you have not seen it yet, we interviewed Alex Windsor on our YouTube channel. Check that out. Alex was great. I thought Alex coming out with her suit on with the rest of the United Empire guys was cool.
Super dope.
And, it's a nice way to connect her and Marina Shafir for this pre-show match and, put over the point that they're not just doing this match just for sake of putting them on the pre-show.
Yeah, super fun of them adding a little story because there was already some story behind it with Ospreay connection, the Death Riders and all this, but adding even a little more, getting some heat behind why this match is happening. I think it's awesome. Does Marina, who wins this, Phil? I'm kind of confused. I'm like, I think because Alex Windsor's in a great space. We love the Brawling Birds. Does she go over? But Marina also kind of needs to win. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I don't know. I'm tempted to say that this is Marina's match to win. I don't know, man. I think this could go either way. If you put my feet to the fire, I'm gonna say I'm picking Alex to win. I'm not confident in that pick though.
Okay, I'm looking further into the card. I'm only gonna say Alex is gonna win because I don't think they're gonna have both of the Brawling Birds lose in the same night. I mean, it wouldn't be the craziest thing, but I'm gonna go with Alex Windsor. So one of the Brawling Birds could get a victory.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not confident in that at all.
Yeah, I actually think I'm going to change my pick. I think Marina's going to win, especially because Marina lost on the last pay-per-view. Yeah, I'm picking Marina to win.
She lost to Mina, too. She's been pretty giving.
Yeah. And the more and more I think about it, I think Marina's probably going to win here. But looking forward to this match. So
yeah.
Then we have FTR taking on the team of Cope and Cage for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Based on the build of this so far, of setting up Christian and Cope versus the Young Bucks at some point. I think it's pretty clear that Christian and Cope are going to win. It seems like this is the way to put the belts on them, moving forward and do some more big matches. And I hope that's a good sign for where the tag division is going to go. Obviously, Christian and Cope have a ton of star power. You can do big matches out of this. I mean, even the Young Bucks match itself, you could main event a show with that match. So hopefully it's time to come. But yeah, I don't see FTR retaining here.
Yeah, now the buildup has been mostly FTR getting heat on Cope and Christian Cage. And I feel like around every corner, they've been telling us that we need one more run for Cope and Cage. And they set up the Young Bucks match. So it feels like they're going to win this one. I think Stoke has been pretty great in the build-up to this. Him doing that spear this week was hilarious. But yeah, I think Cope and Cage are the one. They're leaving with the belts tonight.
Yeah, me too. John Moxley taking on Will Ospreay for the AEW Continental Championship. I think they've done a pretty great job with the build to this so far. Having Ospreay come back and immediately come gunning for Moxley because Moxley was the guy that took him out makes a ton of sense. I think that the way that they played off of the stuff from Sakura Genesis was fantastic. Of course, Will Ospreay was in the building and Ryogoku when Callum Newman won the belt. He was there with his suit on with the rest of the United Empire guys. And then during the press conference, he told him, hey, man, having a bit of a problem at work, could use your help. That immediately played into Dynamite this week where Ospreay was getting jumped by all the Death Rider guys again. And then all of his United Empire guys pulled up to help him and set up a great main event. Perfect way to cross over New Japan and AEW and, you know, add like a through line with everything Ospreay has been doing since he came back from injury. I thought that they played that perfectly. I had been predicting that United Empire is going to turn on him somewhere, and I thought maybe it was going to happen at Dynasty. I'm not so certain now based off of the stuff on Wednesday. I don't think it would make as much sense because, you know, they worked together so well on Wednesday. There was no dissension. There was no even inkling that they would turn on him. I mean, it's inevitable. They are going to turn on him, but I don't think it's going to happen at Dynasty.
Yeah, a lot of people during the watch along were saying they've been telling this story during New Japan and they think that Dynasty is going to be the time, but I think they might save the angle for New Japan is what I keep having in the back of my mind, them turning on Ospreay. And also off the backs of them announcing this week, I think Dave said that Ospreay is going to do more work in Japan, which is also awesome. I don't know if it's a time to immediately do this, but also, Phil, I don't think that Ospreay is going to win the championship, though. So I'm like, that would be a good way to get him to lose this match is by pulling the trigger now. But because I think Mox is going over in this. I think they're going to continue him as champion. I think his run has been fun. And we all have been talking about the road to All In and Will Ospreay becoming AEW World Champion. And I don't think having this championship on the way is in the story. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's what I thought. For some reason, I don't think Ospreay is winning either. And that's why I thought maybe United Empire was going to turn on him here. That would be the way for him to lose. And it doesn't hurt anything. Now, if you saw that clip from the Kyle O'Reilly interview where Kyle was like, yeah, I would sure like to be back in time. Maybe Dynasty, wink, wink. Maybe I could be there. I think that was him trying to sell the pay-per-view. I don't know if I believe he's going to be back that soon, but I do think there's something to it.
Hope so.
Because when Ospreay came back and the lights went down and Mox looked legitimately like, who's this? He was spooked for a second. Then he was like, oh, it's just Ospreay. I was like, who would he be expecting that he'd be spooked by? Has to be Kyle because Kyle has had his number. Kyle has beat him. Kyle beat him in their last pay-per-view match. So that's part of the reason why I think Mox is going to retain because I think this is setting up for another match with Kyle O'Reilly. But I don't know, man. You're gonna have Ospreay lose his first pay-per-view back?
Yeah. You don't want to do that. Because we already have to start telling the story of him getting these big wins, winning all the way up to All In, if that's what we're doing, and him losing to Mox out the gate, especially with how he's been talking upon return of like, you cost me this, you cost me time out, Mox. He's been going after the Death Riders, and then Death Riders just beat him. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means. We'll see. I think the match itself is going to be hard at this point.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, my gut feeling is that Moxley's winning, but also would not be shocked if Ospreay walks out as Continental Champion.
Because Mox has been pretty unbeatable on pay-per-view, besides the Kyle O'Reilly stuff. But when he really needs to lock in, he's locked in. But after seeing the performance that Ospreay had with Pac a few weeks ago and how he was almost unbeatable, I'm like, it's going to be really hard for Mox to beat him. So this is going to be a tough-ass fight. But I'm going to go with Mox, though.
And it wouldn't be a terrible idea for Ospreay to lose here because he went on that stretch of pay-per-view matches when he first joined the company where it looked like, oh, this guy's a world beater. And having him come back from an injury and you really showing the journey of him having to work his way back and losing, I don't think that would be a terrible story. I think you could, and actually I think that works a lot if you're going to put him in an Owen and have him, work his way back and getting a big win at Double or Nothing. I think that makes a ton of sense.
Couple angles to go. I mean, Ospreay losing isn't the end of the world, of course.
No. Andrade El Idolo will be facing Darby Allin in a number one contenders match.
I'm curious as to what your result of this one is, too, because I've been thinking about it all week because of where both of these guys land. Who needs it more?
Yeah. The story, of course, here is that Max paid off the Don Callis family. Again, Andrade is in this position where he has to take out Max's upcoming challenger, somebody that's been calling out Max. As much as I want this match, and I've wanted this match for a while, I wanted it to be Andrade versus Max at Revolution. I do think that Darby is winning. Darby has been cutting the promos on Max ever since he wrapped up everything with the Death Riders. This is really where he was supposed to be last year before he continued this Death Rider stuff for months and months and months. And then he got dragged into stuff with the dogs. But really, since he came back from climbing Mount Everest, the biggest story is, when is he going to be in the world title picture? So, yeah, this is where he's supposed to be. And I'm glad that he started cutting the promos. And I'm glad that he acknowledged, like, yeah, I want to be champion, because it got kind of weird during that time period where people like, oh, he cares more about climbing this mountain than being champion. And I'm glad that in character he's been like, no, I want to be champion. I have some reservations about whether I can be the guy that's the face of this company, whether I have what it takes. But no, this makes this has got to be where we're heading. And if Darby wins, I feel like that kind of tells you the outcome of the main event.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Darby's going to win here.
Did you like that promo that he did this week? It was a different Darby Allin promo. It was more like, it was pretty personal. He was like really kind of tapping into what people have been saying about him. And I always feel like that's what contenders for the world championship should say. Like, I want to be world champion. I think that I could be on top of the mountain right now, but like, I do have doubts. Like, can I do the same thing that Max does? Can I be the person that I'm telling you guys that I can be? Can I really carry that championship? Like, he really thinks about those things, and he heard what we said about him climbing the mountain, and he heard how we kind of talk about him, and he's like, no, I'm serious about being world champion.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a perfect promo. When he got into his shouty mode at one point, it wasn't as clear, but I did like the energy behind it, and I did like the content of the promo because, he should feel like he's got something to prove here. During the Death Rider stuff, a lot of people picked him as the guy to dethrone Mox. Before it was Hangman, a lot of people wanted it to be Darby, and when you look at like the ascension of both Max and Darby, it makes a lot of sense for it to be these two guys, two of the four pillars. There's people to this day that think Darby is the best four pillar. And for what this company represents, for day one guys like both Max and Darby, yeah, this is a confrontation that has been long overdue.
Yes. See, that's why I'm like, the story. I've came up with so many scenarios in my head of where to go with the world champion, but Darby's been so pointed with his promos, and like every time he's talking, he's essentially like Max. It's like, damn, we need a big double or nothing match. We need a big kind of that, and Max and Darby hits that pretty hard. So I don't know. Yeah, I think Darby's going over too, because he's telling that he wants to be number one contender, and you got to make him that.
Absolutely. I mean, I personally would love it if Andrade won here and we finally get Andrade Max. I just don't think that's what's happening. I mean, even every alternative to that, I would be here for it. If Andrade won here and then Kenny won in the main event, absolutely would be here for that as Kenny's first defense, but I don't think it's happening, guys.
And Max has been on a fucking roll. We'll get to it when we get to the main event.
Tekla will be defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Jamie Hayter. This was kind of put together rather quickly, but it's kind of the same thing I was saying with the reasons why Queen Aminata should get her match with Tekla, because of course, Tekla attacked Jamie Hayter when she came back really early on. They have had like a continuing feud all the way up to Blood and Guts. So yeah, Jamie Hayter has plenty of reason to want revenge on Tekla. I think they could have done more to emphasize that. But pretty excited for this match. I think that Tekla has been a strong champion. I think that she has a ton of confidence right now. She's delivered in most of the matches. But now you've got a chance to deliver with somebody outside of Statlander. You know how we feel about Statlander here. Statlander has been, such an incredible asset for them in ring. And, this is such a different challenge for Tekla. Can you put on a match of that quality with somebody like Jamie Hayter?
And kind of out of the realm of the Mercedes and Tony's, and you've been in there with the top of the top. How are you going to work as the champion with somebody that people feel should be champion? I think, you got all the pieces to have a great match. You have two tremendous talents here. Tekla on promos the last 3, 4, 5 weeks has been awesome. Like, give her 60 seconds, Phil, and a mic and the camera. She's going to fucking sell a match. She's going to tear it down. Like, she's been tremendous as champion. And Jamie Hayter's just sitting on the cusp of where we want her to go. Like, I think if there were a world where she pulled out a victory and won the AEW Women's World Championship, people would be all in. That's how invested they are in her. But I just feel like at this moment, Tekla's locked into something different. She's on a different level, and I kind of want to continue with what she's been doing. But at the end of it, they're going to have a great match, I think. So what does it matter?
Yeah. Looking forward to this match. I do think that Tekla's going to retain. Yeah. I would not be surprised if we hear CEO music afterwards, and
About
Mercedes
time.
makes her return afterwards. Definitely think they need Mercedes right now. She is very much missed. But yeah, I guess it also depends on when does the Owen officially start. If we get an Owen announcement tomorrow night, I definitely think we'll see Mercedes.
Absolutely. It's time. She lost all her championships. The division needs her. It is time.
Yes. Tommaso Ciampa will be the first man out. Well, the first person for this Casino Gauntlet for the vacant AEW TNT Championship. Yeah, unfortunate for Kyle Fletcher. Just getting started on this reign. He's been such a tremendous champion for them. He's been just one of the best TV wrestlers this year. Really unfortunate. Finally got the pink strap as well. Cut his reign short because of injury. The word is that he has a meniscus injury, and then he's got some other nagging injuries, so he's going to be out for a while. It's very telling that they did not go with a. They just outright had him vacate the belt.
Right.
We're not doing what do you call it, a linear champion, and we're vacating. Again, that's unfortunate for him, but I think it's the right call right now because you have so many wrestlers that could benefit from the TNT title, and I don't want to do like an interim championship with these guys now because you don't know how long this guy's going to be out, and you just don't want to waste time telling us that somebody is not the real champion. He's just the interim champion.
This division is too active. There's too many people currently going for it. It's defended too often for them to just be like, for any shenanigans to happen, for us to have to wait, for us to have to put up with some champion in waiting while it's happening. No, let's just crown a new champion. Let's just move forward. Very unfortunate because Kyle Fletcher was already becoming TV Wrestler of the Year. I think his matches with Tommaso, his matches with Mike Bailey are incredible matches, and Kyle was on his way to being even greater than he was. So like the pretty unfortunate time, but I think it works out for everybody in that division, including Tommaso, including Roosh, who has a match tonight, including Myron Reed and Ricochet and Jack, all these people that could be featured in that division, I think are going to benefit from this. We talked about it before, maybe just go right back to Tommaso at this point because he was cooking pretty good. I think he can continue up what the spirit of this division and championship is pretty easily. But also, if you surprise me with somebody out of the left field, Phil, that I'm not expecting, that might be kind of dope too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you should just put the belt back on Ciampa. I think that they ended his reign too quickly.
They did.
He's been still calling the belt Sylvie. Like, he's getting great reactions when he comes out. The fact that they already made him the number one guy in this gauntlet and had the match with Roosh on Wednesday, that tells you that they already know that he's getting good reactions and everything. Yeah, I would just put the belt back on Ciampa.
Yeah, makes the most sense. Should be a fun match, though.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at them going in a different direction either. Somebody like Speedball or,
Jet.
Somebody
Either
completely out of left field. I wouldn't be mad at that either. But yeah, it kind of feels like they have unfinished business with Ciampa.
Mm-hmm. Mark Briscoe still looming. They're still telling these TNT Championship stories.
Yeah, Ciampa as a heel with that belt and everything. Yeah, I think that's the move.
Yeah.
As of Wednesday, we've got the Young Bucks on this card. They will be facing the team of Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. Very funny that Don Callis said on TV that fans are like, what are you guys waiting for? Just do this Takeshita Okada match because, boy, y'all are dragging it. And fans have been saying that. So, yeah, it is a bit on the nose that he's just like, oh, you're never going to get it because he's trying to, of course, as a heel, you would say that. But, yeah, y'all are dragging it, though. Like, two things give you are definitely dragging it.
Like, we do hear y'all, but we have been wanting this match for a long time, so I understand why y'all are giving us shit. But, like, give us the match already, G. It's for a reason. Like, we want to see these two guys go at it. The very funny bits this week, I like that that section of Dynamite where they're all brawling. Takeshita and Okada start going at it. They get to the outside. Takeshita takes a big dive. Okada laughs at him, flips him off. Like, all that stuff. Really fun stuff.
Very funny.
A match with Okada and Takeshita versus the Young Bucks. Like, yes, brother. Of course. Sign me up.
Yes. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all of the stuff. They clearly know what they're doing because when we got that strike exchange between Takeshita and Okada, got a great reaction from that crowd. People want this one-on-one match, but
yes,
man, these two guys against the Young Bucks, star-studded match. This is going to be a fun one. absolutely think the Young Bucks are going to pick up the win here to set up them challenging for the tag titles again eventually. And there's no way Okada and Takeshita are going to be on the same page in this match.
Cannot coexist. We know already.
Yeah.
Fire ass match could be match of the night if they really let them, you know?
Yes. Don Callis made the analogy that, Jordan and Pippen didn't always get along, and Okada very much being like, I'm Jordan, you're Pippen. Funny stuff.
Hella funny. And like if that's Okada, so you can't be like, nah, you got to be like, okay, no, I hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. As of last week, Chris Jericho is still All Elite. He signed his new contract in the ring this week, was interrupted by none other than Ricochet. Set up his big match for this pay-per-view. Jericho saying on AEW television, "You just made the list," was very funny to me because I was like, I don't know, somebody somewhere is not going to like that. As soon as it happened, I was like, oh yeah, somebody somewhere is going to be like, nah, you can't be doing that.
I was immediately out because I'm like, people thought I was crazy. People thought I was just being an old man hater, but I'm like, you're doing a WWE concept on AEW TV. If the first thing that I think about when you say something is WWE, is that company, why would you do it? I just didn't really understand as a concept. And Chris Jericho's whole bit is reinvention. He comes back with a new bit. He comes back a different person. So you came back with a bit from 10 years ago from a different company. What's happening here? It just was all happening too quickly. And people were kind of like, well, Rich, people reacted because a lot of people did react. Big reaction online. People liked it. But I'm like, again, we're doing a WWE bit. I'm not going to be in for this.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I just was like, oh, I don't know if you can do that post WWE.
Can you? I still don't know if you can.
I don't know if you can do that, but we shall see.
But wouldn't you, if you're coming back off of injury, Phil, or whatever Chris Jericho's doing, wouldn't you want to work with Ricochet? Doesn't it make the most sense to be like, let me just work a Ricochet? It'll work out.
Yeah, I think this is fine for what it is. Like, Jericho is clearly coming back, and the idea that is Jericho's going to get good reactions now. He's not a heel anymore. So if you want to work a heel and somebody that would benefit from this, Ricochet's not champion anymore. If you want to put him in a position in a big match where it matters, yeah, this makes a ton of sense.
It's Ricochet. We're going to see how we can see how Chris Jericho is working, if he still can go. It's kind of like a testing your limits thing. Like, you get to not kill two birds with one stone. Ricochet is getting this heel heat, and you get to see if you can still go against the best of the best in Ricochet.
Yes. Unfortunately, I do think Chris Jericho is going to win this match, guys.
I mean,
I think Ricochet needs to win more. I think Ricochet should win, but I definitely think Jericho's winning.
I'd put money on it. Yeah, Jericho victory for sure. But Ricochet really needs it, I think, at this point, especially with how like they're talking and getting kind of not the better end of the mic. This promo this week, Phil, I did not love it. Like, I think Ricochet's had some pretty strong promos, but this one, I wouldn't say it was a strong promo.
Yeah, I still think they've got to figure out like what is the immediate direction for him, because he was so hot at one point, and I don't think that the national championship run was really that great. They didn't really do anything of note. He had some good matches, of course, but I still think that there was more meat on the bone with that.
Yep.
I like, again, that he's in the mix, and he's a big enough heel now where a returning Jericho, that's the big match for him, but I just feel like they could be doing more with him.
They should.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely think Jericho's winning, guys.
On his return, for sure.
Yeah. Our main event, MJF will be defending the AEW World Championship against Kenny Omega. Coming into this show, I was just like, great, let's get to it. Put this belt back on Kenny Omega. Let's start the build to Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at All In. And in the last few weeks, I'm all but certain that's not going to happen, guys. I want that to happen. That is the match I want to see at All In. But based on this build, I do not think Kenny's winning. I really would like Kenny to win. There's so many things I think you could do with Kenny coming out of this pay-per-view. But one, Max has been on a great run as champion. I think so far, this is probably his best run as champion. I've seen that adage a few times in wrestling. Like, you got to let somebody get their feet up under them. Their second reign is usually the good one. And Max had a year-long run the first time. So it's like, how much better can you get than holding the belt for a year? But I just think that he's in a better position currently as a character. I think the matches have been hidden. This press run he's been on has been great. They're doing great business with him as champion. You really get an idea this time around of how important he is to this company. If all of his naysayers, if anybody had this idea that no, this guy doesn't do great business and he's not, like, out of the homegrown guys, the guy to really bank on, I think we're seeing more and more in this reign why he's such a big asset to AEW.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, I think he's got more in this reign in him. I would love it if I was wrong here and Kenny won, but I don't think that's what's happening, especially because I think Darby is going to win his match against Andrade. I don't think Darby versus Kenny hits the same as Darby versus Max. I think there's much more history. I think it makes more sense for it to be those guys, two pillars going into the next pay-per-view. I really want it to be Kenny versus Ospreay at All In. Maybe Kenny's going to get a rematch after this, and maybe we're not done with this feud, but I do not think Kenny's going to win here.
What I was trying to get to earlier, Max has been on, and you were saying it pretty much, Max has been on such a great run. I think that's what kind of threw a wrench into all the plans, because it was like, we got to get back to Kenny. We got to get to that match with him and Ospreay. How do we get to it? But Max, this reign feels a lot more tighter, more condensed, more like, it felt like his last reign, he'd do a feud and a thing. The feud would go too long. The matches would go too long. And then it'd be like, feel like 3 months before you get to the next bit. This time it's like, he's pointed. He has these feuds with people we want him to have feuds with. He has these matches with people we want him to have matches with. And then the next night, he's moved on to another person we want him to have matches with. We want him to do these things with. And he's really presenting himself like a big star. I think he takes a lot of that Hangman stuff to heart, Phil, the way that he was talking during those promos of, everybody, I do all this stuff. I present myself like the top guy. I do all the press. I'm in these movies, and they still say it's you. They still say you're the main character. They still say that you're that guy. I'm that guy. I'm the number one guy. I'm the number one homegrown guy. I'm the best filler. Max really feels like he's all those things, and he's been showing it in this reign just by acting like a top guy. He's always acted like a top guy, but on the show, presenting himself like a top guy, beating everybody in promo wars, defending his championship on this show, but also on other people's shows, doing all the press. Like, the thing that you want to feel like a world champion are presented like a world champion, especially not in WWE. Max is really exuding that right now. And it's like, do you want to stop that, Phil? Because it changes when Kenny Omega is the world champion. Kenny Omega is not going to move like Max is moving. And it's for a reason. It's not because Kenny Omega is less than. It's just like, him as champion is different than Max as champion. And also, there are a lot of, like, the Darby thing. There's Andrade also for Max. There's like all these kind of other things that I think could fill those voids moving into All In. So I think he's retaining. Fuck. I don't want this at all. I wanted Kenny. I've been saying Kenny, but like, the Max train is, I think, what we need to continue on moving forward.
Yeah, I would prefer if Kenny won. Um, I would prefer if Kenny won. I can't necessarily say it's a bad idea if Max wins either, though, which I
No.
didn't think I would be in this place um, at this
Right.
pay per view because this whole time I've been like, no, it's Canada. Kenny's got to win. I'm not so certain about that. Especially if Darby wins his match. I think that if Darby wins, that match makes a ton more sense. But I don't know because I'm not nearly as interested in Max versus Will Ospreay at All In.
See, that's the issue. So we get to All In, I don't think Max should be there, you know?
No, I think if you're gonna do the biggest possible match for Ospreay, it should be Kenny as champion. I don't know, but I don't think Kenny's winning here, guys, and I think the Darby feud because usually if you know we're getting a new champion, they wouldn't already start building up the next challenger. They're doing a lot to make us think that Darby is the next challenger. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that they would be doing that if Kenny was going to win.
It's just not as much heat. Like we're not saying that Kenny and Darby wouldn't be fire. That'd be a fire ass match. But as far as like the story that Darby has been telling, the story that Max has kind of continued to tell about Darby, anytime that Darby's kind of mentioned, they've been on this kind of collision course, especially for the AEW World Championship, especially because they're doing this interesting stadium style show in New York and you need a big match to sell it. And I think that's a bigger match to sell it than Kenny and Darby is.
Yeah, that's what I think too. But yeah, pretty strong card. Looking forward to this show Sunday night. Again, we're going to review it on Monday on our YouTube channel. Keep an eye out for that. I believe we got all of our Humper chats in. I will double check just in case.
Dynasty, they're going to do it again. Tomorrow we're going to be like, damn, they got another show. Is this the best AEW show ever? Like, that's where Atlanta is crazy.
Very generous super chat, by the way. Appreciate you.
The homie Metal Death says, can't wait till Dynasty. It's been so weird seeing the fans finally stop simping to the Fed and their shady business practices and terrible bookings. Metal Death, you bring up a funny point because like I was saying earlier, I've seen some die-hard WWE fans. I'm talking about people that are on the timeline every week defending it, being like, that was some of the worst shit I've ever seen, or that was the worst shit I seen last night off of SmackDown or any of this buildup. And so when they get to the diehard fans, Phil, and they're the ones that, when those are the ones being like, holy shit, we have to change this, that really means something. And so I don't know what this means. I don't know, because they super listen to their fans and they super listen to them like, are they going to change this? Or are they going to go harder into Pat McAfee because they think it's real heat?
I think the fact that this is coming from higher up, from Ari Emanuel, is probably why we're going to keep getting this. I think stuff like the Punk promo and the Cody stuff is for fans that are like, oh, the guys are not listening to us. So you can then be like, look, they are listening to us because look, Punk came out there and said lower the prices. Like it's like they're trying to do both. They're trying to do both at the same time. But I don't think McAfee's going nowhere.
So it's some trickery pretty much, right? It's like, no, we are listening to you. We said it. Remember? You saw it on the show. We said we're listening to you.
Absolutely. I think that they're definitely trying to play both sides here, but what are you going to do? Sorry, I guess I froze because people were like, talk, and I don't know. I guess I froze for a second.
Nah, you're still here. We got some more super chats are coming in.
Yeah, we got one more super chat here.
Lil MT Shocker says, I think we're getting Omega versus Ospreay at Double or Nothing. You're pushing it early like that. That's next week. That's next month.
I don't know, man. I don't know that I believe they're gonna do it that soon.
No, that's way too quick to tell
Yeah,
that story in a month.
yeah. I mean, because if they do it a double or nothing, then that would mean Kenny's gonna enter the Owen, and the Owen finals might be Omega versus Ospreay, which isn't a terrible idea.
It's not. Yeah, it's not a worst idea.
I don't know though. You think we see Swerve before then? Because if Kenny loses, then that's like maybe you're gonna do a third Swerve match. I don't know.
So some people are making the suggestion of Swerve costs Kenny on tomorrow, but I'm like, I don't know. Swerve was so loud about like that stipulation and the stuff with Kenny. Does it make sense for him to come back and beat up? I mean, he is a heel, so it doesn't matter. But I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Swerve enters the Owen, but because I wonder, like, if Swerve comes back, I think it makes more sense for me personally for the the Owen finals to be Ospreay versus Swerve than it does Omega versus Ospreay.
Because I feel like Ospreay needs to beat Swerve on the way up to the world title for sure, and that's probably the best bet.
Yeah. I personally would like to see Swerve enter the Owen more than I would like to see a third Kenny match right away. I think we could get another Kenny match, but I don't think you need to do that right away.
Right. Yeah, no, I want to see another one, but I just think with time we can let it spread out a little bit.
Yeah.
Let it spread.
Then this is our last super chat.
Grapple Geekery says, thanks to Jericho, bathroom breaks are back. It did become my dedicated Judas is on. Let me run to the bathroom real quick. I don't know if it's because of Jericho, but like that's usually when I would pick my time at the live shows.
Yeah. Very funny lore. If people remember, before we start this podcast, wait, were we doing this podcast then or not? No, this was before we started the podcast. All Out 2021. That was Punk's return to wrestling. He had the match. And then during Jericho's match, if people remember, I was in the lobby eating a CM Punk ice cream bar. And there were people like, man, bro went to get ice cream instead of watching Jericho. And it was so funny because when I got out there, I saw Will in line for ice cream as well. And he had his kids with him. He was like, how much are these ice cream bars? So, yeah, very funny that both of us were in the lobby during this Jericho match.
Eating ice cream. I love it. Like, ice cream. Jericho, we're big fans. We're back, baby. You're going to be in Ricochet. It's going to be fun.
We're back.
We're back.
We're big fans. We're back.
We're big fans. We're back. That's all I'm saying. What have I become?
That is all. What have I become?
Oh, no, we got another super chat from Rosa. D Riders versus United Empire, Anarchy in the Arena at Double or Nothing. That's almost what they were doing this week with their chaos in Canada. Maybe there was a preview for what we're going to see at Double or Nothing.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I personally think that that's probably where we're going to see the dogs, like in some way. I think the dogs are probably going to be in this year's Anarchy in the Arena match with like some other wrestlers.
Yeah, because they have that Anarchy in the Arena energy, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. At least I hope. I think that would be a really good spot for the dogs. I think they would get a lot out of taking part in that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think that's all of our super chats. Famous last words. Orion Ben, bro. That is a fantastic idea. In New York, if they have Anarchy in the Arena at Double or Nothing, ante up, bro. in New York, that would be fire.
Dude, NEF would be so hard. I just heard that maybe 2 days ago. I heard that song, and I was thinking about wrestling. So I like this Orion Ben because I was like, they haven't really utilized a good Annie up anywhere. So yeah, I like this. You're in my brain, Orion Ben.
In New York, Double or Nothing, like just Annie up and Double or Nothing from like gambling terms makes perfect sense. Bro. Still Orion's idea, bro. I'll act like I never saw him say that in our chat, guys.
Didn't see it. Nah. We can act like it's a fresh new one. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Such a great idea.
Yeah, great idea. Appreciate you guys. We will be back on Monday. Next week we'll be in Vegas, so we'll have a podcast or something that Saturday. You'll hear something from us next weekend.
Absolutely.
But until then, this has been Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsay, Righteous Reg. We are out of here.